bunch of changes here that they made that are very specific to our what has happened to our ticker. And if you read the 15C211 changes, one of the things that you'll notice is that a vast majority of the comment letters that were received, and let me give a quick overview of the comment letters. So what generally happens with an SEC rule change proposal is that they will open it up for comment letters, and then they will take comment letters into account and potentially change aspects of the rule before that rule goes live. And what you'll notice is that there are numerous market makers and hedge funds that sent letters stating requesting changes. Among them are Virtue and Canaccord, which sent comment letters stating that their proposed rule changes would increase availability of issuer information to the general public. That doesn't seem to be the case because the issuer did not approve this security to trade. So they're using a very lenient term of issuer here. Another thing that's stated in the document is that the SEC clarifies that the manner of the Rule 15C211 governing the publication or submission of broker-dealer quotations in a quotation medium serves to cement the broker-dealer's role as the gatekeeper for many investors, including retail investors, to the OTC markets. So what they've essentially done is they've stated that the broker-dealers don't have to do their due diligence, but that they are still held to the same standards as they were when they did have to do their due diligence. This sort of provided a way to bypass, but still hold the broker-dealers liable for anything that happened. So you can see in many of these rule changes, you can see explicitly what the rule change proposals were and how they were targeted specifically for getting MMTLP trading. And ultimately, it is my opinion that their goal was to drop the price of MMTLP so much that they would shake out a large majority of the investors. I think the thing they weren't expecting was for the MMTLP community to be as intelligent and as interested in understanding the true play
as intelligent.
So just to recap, the options were the first public reference to the preferred shares. It was used to carry the shorts over the finish line and allow market makers and hedge funds to not close their open short positions. This meant that shares pretty much just showed up in broker-dealer participant accounts. Broker-dealers did make the choice to trade these shares.
Why?
FINRA puts out a corporate notice.
None of this excuses anybody from
which is very odd,
delivering
the fact that most corporate notices that come into FINRA
shares of something that
the same day, and
another
that FINRA has no
investor purchased.
Has no authority
so
to put a corporate notice under review that is already approved by.
They think that it just doesn't matter anymore because it doesn't trade.
A corporate notice with
I don't think that's
saying that the security would be canceled. And then a second corporate notice shortly thereafter saying it would be deleted. This
in the spirit
change appears to be targeted in order to allow them to say that the security could never settle.
I don't really think that's
but it also kind of puts them in a bad position because it shows on record that they made this change for the purposes that they did. And then, as we all know, FINRA suspends trading. I believe it was
as we all know,
and that is how we are all here. That's pretty much what I've got. I just wanted to go through the 15C211 real quick. And I think Elf has a little bit more to speak about. Is she
about? Uh-oh.
Still on the mic?
We got Canadians.
Hold on, let me get her.
Uh-oh. Oh. Yeah. Mute your mic when you snort your cocaine, okay? Jesus.
Oh, well, we'll have to come back. Oh, there she is. Elf, go ahead.
Hey guys,
Oh.
I'm so sorry about that. What was the last thing you heard me talking about?
What was the last thing you said?
Said that you might have something to add to what he discussed.
Charlie's vids latest
We were just
upload.
talking about 15C211, and I think you were going to go into
Charlie's
Reg
vids
Show
latest
a little bit.
Yeah, one moment. Okay, so
Comprise this community, all coming from all different walks of life. And when you talk about this community and how everything came to be where it is today, you've got to start with Marduk. Marduk is probably the most unselfish person in this community. He has
if my stream drops out,
of MMTLP.
just hang on, it'll come back. I'll be back. Been dealing with these hedgy attacks for the better part of 2 years.
Been a rock
because
giving people a place to go when they need. He's been there for them, and I just really appreciate him very much.
Don't want somebody actually talking intelligently, thinking about
everybody.
These dumbass meme stocks.
Who are joining us from across
because
the pond,
they
who are just waking up. Good morning. Hope you have a nice Thursday.
They need the exit liquidity.
Yeah.
That
So
these
before I go into mine, I
Muppets provide.
Syntax did
So
start the spaces, and it was really me just wanting to step in and help fill the void because these other people have families and lives that they're dealing with, and so
just
I'm
a theory.
And it slows down where I'm at in the wintertime, so I got laid off, and I had all this free time, and I just took the initiative to get a new phone and jump into the Twitter spaces and just try to get in.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it happens to Al all the time.
Confused, so
I'm sure it happens all the time.
As you see, Gandalf is here as well.
Gandalf is here
since day one. Love you, brother.
Making
really, it was just a
meaningful
place for people to come and talk and share information and just voice what
transactions
and that's really it.
Like-minded people.
I got
MMTLP.
I'm laid off work, just collecting my employment insurance until work picks back up again. And, yeah, that's really it. I mean, I'm just a dude.
He's just a dude.
And I just wanted to get to know these people because I'm an investor in metamaterials. That's how I found out about this whole torchlight thing.
That's how we found out about it. So did I, Romanian. I had trouble.
Myself and the people of this community that I would fight to the very end with them.
That was the call.
Let everybody know. I love you guys. You know it, and
I did not take it.
So proud of how much we've done by just putting our heads together.
They're proud.
And let's keep going. Thank you.
Thank you, Marduk. I also have a pre-recorded.
There we go. ADF video. Okay.
One of our community members, Dr. Edward. I'm going to play that right now.
My name is Dr. Ed Esposito, and I'm a chiropractor for the last 27 years.
Chiropractor.
I specialize in sports injuries and disc.
He's a chiropractor. He's a doctor.
Patients range from professional and college athletes to the everyday worker.
Sorry to any chiropractors out there.
Expensive, very immobilizing back surgery. I have 5 sons ranging in the age of 25 to 17. 3 I helped train to be college athletes for baseball, and 1's a professional.
Well, you guys are cool dudes.
I got introduced to metamaterials around 2019. A colleague of mine told me about it. What intrigued me was the nanotechnology, the people on the board, the engineers, the MBAs.
You know what? It sounds like
scientists. The company, the nanotechnology, can lower costs for everyday products.
Can lower costs. It's good technology. Efficient. He's a fundamental investor.
Really like that.
So,
and utilizing less material.
What about these guys? What about the
part of the spinoff
non-ape
Series A preferred dividend?
Believers
like
in
the
MMTLP. What about them? What about people who believe in
reliant on foreign
Powell?
oil, and that our local oil or American oil would help reduce costs to American citizens.
There used to be a great way to invest by proxy in Towel.
To them, on December 9th and 12th, I would have no problem trading.
It's
the Series
potentially in danger.
Dividend. Prior to the halt, I never thought of a lot of things in the market. I had no idea there was things called FTDs and failure to delivers and a short interest report, and short squeezes.
You don't really need to know about it.
The Madoff rule. These are all things that were followed.
The Madoff rule.
As far as I knew, I was going to trade in those last 2 days. I didn't know what my price would be. I would let the free and fair market determine that. I mean, if you ask somebody before the Silicon Valley banking collapses. I mean, if you ask somebody what their prices,
the banking collapses,
I'm sure it'd be a lot different than when they knew it was going to collapse. I mean, so the free and fair market, supply and demand, would determine what I would do in those last 2 trading days. And according to the S1, that's what I was supposed to get. When that halt happened, it took me completely by surprise. I had no idea what was going on. I didn't know that FINRA had that type of power. And it really created a lot of stress in my life. Credit card debt.
Never.
Very difficult to see my kids in New York for the last 4 months. In fact, I got to see them for the first time last week.
What the hell?
I realized the amount of power FINRA could have.
You should be prepared to lose your entire investment.
That there was an imbalance in the blue sheets based on these FTD
always,
and short interest.
As far as I'm concerned,
different other rules that I learned about.
What the fuck
from 3 weeks
are these
ago
people
kind
doing?
Of that the SEC and FINRA knew there was an imbalance in the blue sheet. And
that sounds like more like gambling to me.
Not the retail investor, as they claim.
The retail investor.
Most likely the broker dealers. So what am I looking for now? I'm looking for my last 2 trading days. I mean, nobody likes a cheater in sports.
Oh my God.
And when the game is rigged to only
cater
to brokers and dealers, and people using their power with abuse, is not.
You could say the same thing about
some changes in the market there. I'm very
retail stores.
They
control what we consume.
My life from real estate.
It's whatever they want us to buy.
But I'm hopeful that
somebody has to provide it. Somebody has to be able to go out there and say, all right, we're going to buy all this stuff. We're going to buy all that stuff. Put it in a room, a big room, and let people come and buy it.
Prior to this.
So, yeah, if you don't have that.
So I want my last 2 trading days.
Good luck.
And thank you for your time.
Like having a large selection at a decent price. Like there are compromises.
With that, we're going to go to syntax.
These people did not compromise. They just dumped all their money into these speculative bullshit.
Drew, just let me know.
OTC.
My name is Cynthia. And
preferred shares. Oh my God.
Torchlight, about 2.5 years ago, February of 21. I'm a mother of 4 children. I can't really say children. My oldest is 23 and he's launched. He's actually a disabled veteran. He was medically discharged from the Army. My husband is active duty Air Force. And we have 4 kids.
I'll tell you what.
23, 17, 13, and 5. And I am my education is in social work. I was a trauma counselor for combat veterans, and military sexual trauma was another thing that I
wonder if
worked with.
that's how.
And
she met
at that point in time when I first started investing, I was a stay-at-home mom. And
okay. Well, that's a riveting story, but let's go to this. Okay. What is all this crap here? Oh my God. Visual Studio.
So I know a lot of you remember that I've covered the ADF facility before. And I wanted to show you something specifically with AMC because for the longest time, I even went as far as to email the SEC lawyer to try and figure out what was going on with the ADF facility, which is basically a non-displayed trading facility where over 45% of the market share is utilized on a daily basis. So I'm going to show you with undeniable proof that AMC is in fact traded in the ADF. I'm just going to add in a new attribute real quick.
What?
Let's see here.
I mean, I could show you this right now in Fidelity.
Exchange equals message chart.
In fact, I will.
And then I'm going to print symbol
What is this
exchange,
wizardry
and I'm gonna
bullshit? I mean,
specifically
come
change
on.
this to only account for AMC. So T.AMC is what we're going to be looking at. And
Yeah, let's
I'm
look at
going
AMC
to
out of context, as always.
basically just print this symbol out so you can see it for yourself. So refresh this. And
Who said that?
real-time trades coming in for AMC.
Who
So
said
point that out?
that there was no?
Oh, look, the very first one. AMC FINRA Alternative Display Facility. What do you know?
Well, you asked for that, didn't you? Oh, wow. The first one is the thing that I asked it for. What?
There's another one.
This guy is retarded.
How much it's for. So,
okay.
Price is message.price. Size is message.size. And then we're going to do.
This guy has no
symbol
clue.
Traded at price.
I mean, I can show you
for
this
size shares
right now
for a cost of, and then we're going to do dollar cost equals price times size for a cost of dollar cost from the exchange. So
this is the time and sales for AMC on Fidelity, filtered by exchange to ADF.
It is after hours, so keep in mind it is going to be moving a little bit slower than I would like. However, I mean, you can't really argue that the ADF's being used if you're seeing it being used with real-time data. So
okay.
That's
well, look, it's being used on
I swear
Apple.
In business to aid the crime, not prevent it. AMC traded at 508 for 200 shares for a cost of $1,016 from the exchange. FINRA.
This is off exchange execution. That's all this is. What is he talking about?
I mean, it seems
off
like
exchange.
It's only trading out of the FINRA Alternative Display Facility, which, and you know, according to the SEC, isn't being used, but yet here it is being used. So how do you explain this?
It isn't being used.
How do you explain this? SEC.
It's not.
I mean, I don't think they can. But yeah, you see it 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 transactions out of the ADF so far. Now let's add in GME. Let's add in GME to the list of tickers. TAMC. Let's do TGME.
Oh, and look, it's 508.
And see if GME is the same thing.
The same price that it was everywhere else because it's literally the same.
AMC again, FINRA, AMC, FINRA ADF, AMC again, FINRA ADF. And again, I mean, if you go look at what the ADF is and just the
oh my God,
grip it has in the market, go to SIBO market share website. Go to the exchanges overview. Oh, they changed this. Hold on. I think you have to do SIBO market share.
Yeah, they changed it. That's what it is.
Right,
it could be that you just. Oh my God.
So this is basically the entire market's volume chart based on the exchange that it came out of. So if I go to compare venues.
I think Charlie's a dude, Ron. I mean, I thought it was. Everybody's has to reboot, yeah, because we all got infected with the worm that the hedgy guy did. So,
and I select all of the venues. You see, NASD ADF is right here at the top. I'm going to do that one last.
Oh, okay.
Check all these boxes. Check all these boxes, and these are all the lit exchanges.
No,
and the exchanges that I'm gathering from the.
What? Wait. Why did he not? Why did he? Why is he saying these are all exchanges like FINRA, NASDAQ, TRF? Those TRFs. Those are not exchanges. Those are basically. It's basically the same thing as. It's very similar to the ADF. That's off exchange reporting. But anyway, he's
all the lit exchanges.
Why am I asking? Why did he do that?
The exchanges that I'm gathering from the script here whenever I define the exchange.
He's a script kitty. he's the one that probably hacked me.
Any exchange that comes back, whether it's ADF or NYSE, it will post just like you're seeing here in the terminal. Okay, so anyways, back to the website here. So I've added in everything but the ADF. So I want you to look at this. So on the 18th, which was yesterday, this should update hopefully in an hour or two for today's data. But if you look at this, you'll see that the ADF accounts for, well, how much? We haven't added it yet. The biggest volume taker is the NYSE TRF. I'm sorry, the FINRA TRF Carteret, which accounts for 33%. And that's that blue line up here at the top. You see how there's such a big difference? Like this blue line accounts for over 30% of the volume daily, and it's been this way since like basically 2015. Now, look what happens when we add in the ADF. Boom, the red one right there. It's using more paired volume than any other venue in the market by a metric shit ton. And the SEC told me that they don't use the ADF. It's not an operation, but yet you see right here with your own eyes that AMC is currently being traded out of the FINRA ADF facility. So which one is it, SEC? Oh, look, there's one from the NYSE ARCA. Oh, see what I mean? There's a real one out of the NYSE ARCA. So I'm going to be monitoring this and looking to see if there's any kind of price discrepancy. Because remember in 2021 when we'd look and we'd see like AMC being traded at like $18 when it was trading at like $7? Guarantee you ADF has something to do with this. But anyways, I thought you'd find that interesting that
no, I don't remember that.
Into it, working with the SEC
That's
on
gaslighting,
trying
bro.
to get some answers as to what is going on here. They said it wasn't used, and it wasn't until I got the real-time data that I saw for myself that it is in fact being
wasn't until
used,
then.
undeniable.
Oh my god.
So anyways, how about
dude? I've been talking about
and,
ADF
GME
on
also,
here
because
for
GME
2
traded at
years.
21.26 for 86 shares.
I used to
for a
use
cost of
this
$1,800
all the time.
through
Fidelity
the FINRA ADF
show this
facility.
shit because
So,
you can see
how
pretty
about
much
them
everything
apples?
you need to see.
SEC, you're lying. You're lying. You're liars. You aid in crime. Change my mind. Y'all have a good one. AMC traded at the ADF. Big time proof here.
Big time proof. There's some big time proof. Anyway, what do I think of that video? I don't know what he's talking about in terms of the SEC said, the SEC, I'm sorry, but no. The SEC said that they don't use the ADF. I don't exactly know. I haven't seen that personally. Hello, Manuel. Have you heard that the SEC says that they do not use the ADF off exchange reporting? Because Charlie now showed proof, but of course we can see proof right here on Fidelity and the time and sales, but you know that's beyond anything that guy's and he made a big deal out of it. So I don't know what AMC land. I don't think so. So I was watching a little bit of this video last night by Trading with Emotions, and it's particularly bad. And I actually started recording a video about it, sort of, but I mean, just
What's
listen
up,
to
guys?
this.
Welcome back. All right, so we have a
I'm gonna have to
little
accelerate this.
finding here on the.
Okay.
What's up, guys? Welcome
From the
back.
beginning, I guess.
All right, so we have a interesting little finding here on the quad witching. Used to be a curve.
Quad
now
witching.
I have modified it so that we could see linear lines. I'm gonna pull it up here. So no, we're not entering a quad witching date this week, but it is a very important expiration date for options.
Fabulously dumb.
With the cycle, we take into consideration the option chain. It's a very big deal.
Okay. He's using the option chain
with how the price moves and why they can use all this liquidity using options. Okay, so let's pull up these lines here. These are all quad witching dates. Quad witching dates happen 4 times a year.
So these are the quarterly option expirations, essentially. I don't know why he has to say quad witching, so he sounds like he knows something, I guess. But these are the quarterly option expiration dates. So between one line and the next is 3 months elapsed, right? So that's the delineation of time here. That's all these lines indicate. And just right off the bat, you can see, I don't know, you could say, like, for example, this line here in June of 2021, it was like in a consolidation period. In this line here, the next quarterly, AMC was in a downtrend. And then, so you can kind of, in this one here, AMC was in one of those pump cycles. I shouldn't say cycle, one of those pumps before the dump. And, likely lots of short covering. But it was on the upside of that. It was as the price was rising. And then sideways and then down and then down. And, so it's kind of like, I'm not seeing any strong correlation anyway, right off the bat there, but maybe, I don't know.
Okay, March, June, September, and December. And they're
But
all
the thing to
lined up
know,
here for you.
they're just, these are the quarterly expirations. So it's aligned, to the trading calendar, to the market calendar, as far as those being the third, week of the month, I guess. So anyway, they're quarterly. So, they're the monthly expiration, but for each quarter. All right. So it's just simply dividing the trading year into these 4 quarterly expirations. Okay. That's all I'm trying to say, is that it's a regular, date pattern. Okay.
So you can see exactly what AMC was doing on every single date here. So this is very good for the cycle, because you guys know the cycle works on a 2-month basis here. And we have every 2 months, we have the green and the blue section of the cycle is where we have the volatility zone, the POI.
Why is that good that it's on 2 months? Because these are quarterly cycles. So like the expiration cycles, the expiration dates, they're quarterly. So that's 3 months. So why is 2 good? Again, are we trying to get to 6?
Okay, so I'm going to talk about what is going on here and what we can expect moving forward, right? Stick with the cycle, and let's bring over these lines. All right, so what we're looking at here is correlation again, because that's what cycle analysis is. It's the correlation with historical patterns that have played out in the past and how we can use that for...
Okay, so
now, use it as reference.
Now we just have the price at the expiration, the closing price on the day of the expiration, plotted, and for each of these expiration dates, and then we have a line connecting the dots. He connected the dots. So now, you could say, and this is how I would look at it, you could say, okay, the price rose from this quarterly expiration to this quarterly expiration by this much. So I would call this maybe quad witching delta, as in how, did the price go up or down from quarterly expiration to quarterly expiration? And if so, or which way, by how much? That's the positive delta if it goes up, and negative delta if it goes down. I don't know what use this would be, if any, ever, but you're just basically looking at what was the closing price on all these quarterly option expirations. And then we're going to connect those dots. Okay. All right.
So right now we have high correlation in this section right here, which is almost 4 cycles. So from June to June, that's a whole year of data. That's 4 cycles on the quad witching.
Yes, it is. It's 4 quarters.
Call it a curve, all right? So what I'm looking at right now that's interesting is, well, we go back to March of 2020, which is where everything started, right? These guys using liquidity with meme stocks, and crypto, pumped the market.
Guys.
And then you have all these guys being over leveraged, right? So we're going to take, in this case, we're going to take we're going to take 5 cycles as reference, and we're going to pull it up, and you guys
5 cycles
around. Look, this is what I'm talking about when it comes to the POIs. Right back here, you're looking at POI and a POI, and then this happens.
Oh, would you look at that?
That section here, right? That's a valid point of interest in this little section.
I don't know what's valid about this.
We're actually going to take this and we're going to put it right over here, like this. And now we have, starting from this quad witching date in. Okay, we're going to do it. It's always a day after quad witching date.
So let's let's ignore the fact that this right here does not match up at all with the other line. Can we just say that? I mean, okay. So, all right.
June 21st.
Crypto and Tesla is tanking
through September 20th in this case. Now, there are going to be 1 or 2 days of gaps. That's normal with the way the calendar works, holidays, stuff like that. But here is our section. Now, the correlation here is not tracking whether the pattern looks the same or not. It's the average.
Oh, it's not
the quad witching curve here. So this is why, well, we called it a curve because that gives us a nice average of what's happening with the overall price action. So if I pull over here just a regular moving average.
Wait, so it's not whether it's
out. Let's do.
So what is it then?
60. Right, you're going to get the same thing. You're going to get an average of the overall price, and that's what we want. We don't want to look at the volatility that's happening because volatility can sometimes skew data, right? We're going to get incorrect data if we take into consideration these massive pushes.
We don't want to look at the volatility because that's not where you make money.
The quad witching lines are giving us here. So let's take away that, bring this back forth.
But,
now let's
no.
What's going on?
No.
In this little section and how
this is now quickly turned into
prior to the move
just
in
patent
January,
nonsense.
GameStop thing, we had 1 cycle, price went up from quad witching.
And this one started in April.
So price went up,
and this over here starts in July. And I mean, okay, so he is doing up, sideways,
and then it came down.
He's using relative
down on that third one.
Kindergarten terms.
The January move. This is where the price just drastically went up. We traded sideways for a little bit again, and then June came, and we had the June experience. Right?
So he's talking about seasonality then.
Same thing is happening right now.
Essentially,
correlation. We're just looking at 2 different graphs here.
He's looking at seasonality.
Correlation between the 2. So what do we have here? We have goes up, comes down. It's pretty stagnant right here. And then what happens on that third one? That third one starts pushing up. Okay, now, this doesn't mean, again,
so it has to go up.
It's just like doing analysis of patterns in the market. There's not a right way to do it.
It doesn't go up, down, sideways. It goes up, sideways, down. No, before it was supposed to go, he said, it's up, then it goes sideways, then it goes down, and then it launches to the moon. Here, he's saying something different.
It's just like doing analysis.
Okay, then he's going to say, well, but
comes down. That third one.
My mom says I'm special.
So what do we have here? We have goes up, comes down. It's pretty stagnant right here. And then what happens on that third one? That third one starts pushing up.
So in other words, it doesn't matter if it's up or down or sideways. It's just that you have 3 that are not. Well, this one's up. I mean, it's. I guess it's up. Is it really up? I mean, it's up a little bit. I guess that could be considered up if you're going to consider that to be up. But there's a lot of volatility in there, but he doesn't care about that. Same here because it says it's down. And then Ortex, Ortex right here, right where the cursor is right now. That's where Ortex gave the short squeeze signal before last year. So that's cool. Right in this area, I believe. Oops. I'm spilling stuff. Because stupid trading view. Okay. Here. Yeah, right in that. It's that one right here. Now it says sell short. I changed it to help Ortex out, but no, this was a short squeeze buy signal. It changed from a short squeeze buy signal to a sell short sell short signal. Okay. I
Now, this doesn't mean, again, with the cycle correlation, it's just like doing analysis with patterns in the market. There's not a right way to do things in the market, guys. You really have to find your strategy and what works for you. And this is something that has been working for us here in the cycle analysis group. So the correlation is pretty high. We can see this not only using the quad witch.
How's that?
Here, but we use indicators. We use what is going on in the markets. You guys know that we're coming up to a very important POI in the markets here. And this also lines up with that, right? The point of interest right now in the cycle,
of course it does, because you're using
lines up with the quad witching
measurements of time
section that we have here, which is 4 cycles. Also lines up,
and there is seasonality in stocks.
So this is just to consider, again, the possibility that this is a volatility zone where things can happen. Things can go up very quickly.
So he's making a big ass deal out of the fact that
in the markets, when
the
you
price
want to see if a trend is changing,
well, he's guessing.
Times with these stocks that get manipulated using the option chain, you can clearly see that here. And
but shouldn't that next one be down then?
How much downward
should be
pressure
down? No, it should be up.
Downward pressure since June 2021.
Or is now the first one's down? It can go. It can go. Oh, that's right. It can go down and then up.
That is quite.
It can go any way, but as long as it just goes up.
That's almost 2 years of just downward pressure in the market. So when things come down, they come back up. That's just how it works. Now,
whoa. When things come, I'm going to slow them back down the normal speed, and I want to hear that again. That caught my ear.
Too. That is quite some time, guys. That's almost 3 years, or not 3 years. That's almost 2 years of just downward pressure in the market. So when things come down, they come back up. That's just how it works. Now, that's not always the case. If there is an underlying issue, or if the shorts actually happen to win in the end, which the market is the market and the market works the way it wants to sometimes. There are certain stocks that do end up going down to very low levels, but this is why we're tracking this, because AMC.
Yeah, because not every stock is a winner, just like not everybody deserves a trophy or an award. I don't know. It's almost like there's winners and losers out there, but I mean, I guess it's the everybody's a winner era now in the stock market and YouTube and all this shit.
Come on. At a comfortable range. They're having an extremely hard time shorting this stock below certain levels. Okay. Right now, Bed Bath & Beyond is obviously trading at a very low range. And that's one of the stocks that I've told people, it's possible it's going to go into the 10-cent range. Right now, we have a little dead cat setup happening. But AMC's not there, dude. AMC, they have not been successful in shorting it below that $4 range. So it just shows that this is a stock that's very hard to do that. Now, when you get to these levels, you do have to start thinking, okay, well, if the price crosses resistance, we start to see a trajectory change. Well, then it's possible that these shorts are going to start to struggle to keep it down. And then what happens after that? You have a ripple effect. So every time we enter a POI here, it just gives the opportunity for the price to rally, go up quickly, and potentially have a short
POI
in a stock like.
I'm assuming that's where the POI is the quarterly expiration, I guess, in this theory. And I mean, okay, but the GameStop squeeze did not happen on that event. Actually, neither did the AMC squeeze. I mean, if that's what they mean, and some of them are better than others, but some of them, are just like. But I guess it's one of those things where it's just like it is, because it's forces that you can't, metaphysical forces or something. Double top at 70. Well, it's actually like 40 what, 44 or something now. So that actually is good. Take some pressure off the anyway.
Like this. That's just the way these POIs have been working every single time. Now, if the price gets rejected, we cross below 350, well, then I would say AMC is in a dangerous spot, in a dangerous situation. The more it climbs down, the riskier the stock gets. And once you get into that dollar range, the stock becomes very.
So he's talking about season. This is a primitive, like very, very juvenile form of seasonality analysis. It seems like I mean, you don't need to copy and paste chart, parts of a line chart. Like that's not really how it works, but you can look at seasonality charts, and I pulled some up here on equityclock.com. These are free. And the problem I have with this one is that it includes 2021 and 2. So it's influenced by this nonsense. It's too polluted by this garbage. So what I did, because I wanted to see, okay, what normally would happen. So this is a 6-year range ending in at the end of the year in 2019. So we can just look at the image maybe. There we go. And it's a 6-year range ending at the end of 2019. So this is what it would do. This is a, basic kind of average movement of AMC stock before the retarded shit happened in 2021. So it looks like March and April out of this 6-year period, and didn't this include the supposed best year ever for movies or something? I don't know. And then not, interestingly, not really the beginning of June. Beginning of June is back down. And then there's an elevated point here in the middle of September and at like around Halloween. And then a little bit better around Thanksgiving, but then the end of the year is just shit. And actually goes negative. So, I mean, this is seasonality before the retarded shit. And then seasonality started looking like this, factoring 9 years ending the end of 2022. Their seasonality was affected by that much because that's now what it looks like with this nonsensical garbage. So there's GameStop, there's AMC. So it was that, think about this. It was that outsize of a move. It was that far out. It was that many standard deviations away that it influenced a 9-year average. I mean, that much. And if I could find the one from that just included 2021, I guess it would even be stronger correlation with 2021 maybe. But anyway, I mean, I think that says quite a bit there. He's predicting double top at 44. None of these idiots that post their, oh, I cut that off a little bit. There we go. Post their bullshit TA have ever had a winning trade or investment. You know how I know this? Because if any of these fools ever had a successful trade, they'd be posting it. Yep. I mean, you'd think that they would, right? They all eventually have to accept reality when their money runs out and their alcoholism or drug addiction surface. I'd say resurface probably. See Trey and Ants trades of examples. Oh my gosh. Terrible. So, That's the best that I can see. That's what this is about. It's just a primitive form. And why would you only look at 1 year? And why would, I mean, if you of course there are patterns. Of course there's a seasonal pattern to businesses. I mean, that's just retarded. Everybody knows that. You go to the store, they have Halloween, and then they have, Christmas, and then they have Valentine's Day merchandise in the seasonal section. I mean, just look at the seasonal section. Okay. What about this one? I don't know here.
Hey, what's going on? Few more hours at work till we're at home running the pee-pee show, man. Gotta say, 75% of all volume has gone to off exchange, over $500 million. Explain that, Marantz. I guess you can, because you're shilling, for people not to fucking buy the stock and this and that. Really sucks for the people who fucking watch this guy, man. Could have had fantastic averages, could have swing traded this fucking stock and made some more money for GME, right? But of course, a lot of people most likely listen to this man, and there you go. Clearly this stock has some potential. It's running like fucking crazy. Over 800 million in volume.
That's funny.
That. If it's going fucking bankrupt, why the fuck is there fucking 800 million goddamn fucking volume on the motherfucker? You can't explain shit, all right? So again, I will reiterate, Marantz, sit down, jack shit about the company, fuck all, and guess the fuck what? I still haven't fucking seen bankruptcy, still haven't seen a file for bankruptcy, so proves you're fucking
he told you.
Proves you're fucking shill, and honestly, man, you're just a terrible fucking trader. We'll see you guys for the PP show tonight, man. Have a good fucking
Well, I mean, it would be I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut on that one. I don't know. I don't know who the hell's paying these people, honestly, but they use your imagination. They would say that it's hedgies that are paying for these actors. But I don't know. Where's Model 3 dude? I haven't seen him. It's going to be a good one when Strongman is naked on the videos.
The bubbles popping, the bubbles popping, the bubbles popping. Boom, boom. Woo! Wee! Oh, I'm so happy about these Tesla earnings. I'm yearning for these earnings. Welcome back to Strongman Personal Finance. I love looking at Tesla.
Wait, he changed the name back to Strongman Personal Finance?
That I am predicting that a massively overvalued luxury car company that's hyped up by a bunch of scammers, including Elon Musk, is a massive bubble, and the stock's going to implode. Now, because people have criticized me, I want to be very clear, okay? Even though I crap on Tesla, I still own it because I still believe that index funds in the long run will help you win. So Tesla is a part of my holdings. But let's go ahead and jump straight to the good news, because Tesla just released their Q1 earnings, and they're not good. And there's some very shocking, amazing things going on. I could have never predicted these earnings. It's impossible.
Yeah, right.
So let's go look at the stock first. What's happening with the stock? So earnings just came out, and we can see a line going straight down. So the stock is trading at about $172 per share right now, which, if you look at market capitalization, at least according to Robin Stock, is almost $600 billion, which is still, what?
169.65.
World Toyota. Okay, not a bubble, guys, right? But the stock is down massively after hours because, predictably, the margins have gone down and the revenue growth rate has gone down. Now, before we get to the earnings, I just want to remind you, Tesla has continuously cut their prices over the last couple of months. Why? Well, because they're running into a demand problem. Everybody thinks Tesla demand is just through the roof. Everybody wants a Tesla. Nobody wants anything else. Well, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that is a fallacy. That is wrong. That is so wrong. You can't even imagine it. Not everybody in the world wants to drive a Tesla. And guess what? After a certain point, there's only going to be a certain amount of people that are going to buy Teslas. And because there's only a certain amount of models of Tesla, the company is going to quickly peak out. I'm telling you. The most sold model, I believe, in 2022 was like the Toyota Corolla of any car. And it sold like 1.1, 1.2 million models, right? People are thinking that somehow the Model 3 and Model Y, which are still pretty expensive, are somehow going to continuously sell and become the two largest selling autos in the world. And then on top of that, they're going to release the Cybertruck and millions are going to buy the Cybertruck. And it's all so stupid, okay? No, that's not how the world works. You're a bunch of delusional clowns. But Tesla keeps cutting prices. And all of these moron shills, what they say is, oh, they're cutting prices to destroy the competition. Yeah, because General Motors and Ford are about to fold. Have you looked at their most recent earnings? They're actually not doing that bad. Okay, they have plenty of operating cash flow. By the way, Farzad, you're an idiot. You don't know how to read a statement of cash flows. And they're doing pretty well. I don't see Ford and GM imploding or Toyota anytime soon. But anyway, let's go ahead and dive into the earnings because here is where the juice is. Now, it's hard to zoom in because I hate how these reports are structured. But I'm gonna explain it to you as best I can. Hopefully you can see it. If you can't, I apologize. If I zoom in, I can't see the descriptions on the left side. But the first thing we see is total automotive revenues is almost $20 billion for Q1 2023. That's pretty respectable, right? 18% year-over-year revenue growth. 18% year-over-year revenue growth. Now, I heard from Tesla shills that the price cuts were going to make demand so high that it was just going to compensate, right? I thought I heard that from the Tesla shills. And I said, they're cutting their vehicle prices, so that's going to lower revenue growth because sales prices are revenue. And on top of that, to me, that indicates there's some kind of demand problem. Why would you cut? If you were such a high demand company, you would raise your prices. It doesn't make any sense. But Tesla's year-over-year revenue growth is 18%. That's a far cry from 50%, clown Elon Musk rat, you little liar. Yeah, So amazing revenue growth. But Ford isn't growing as fast. Okay, good point. Psych. Okay, so revenue's up 18%. Let's see. Energy generation and storage revenue's up 148%. Maybe that'll save the company. Service and other revenue is up 44%. Now let's see what percentage of Tesla's revenues are autos, because I keep hearing Tesla is not a auto company. So let's go ahead and we're going to take total automotive revenues, which is this number right here. It's really small. They had 19,963. And you can do this math yourself, guys. This isn't that hard. Divided by 23,329. 86% of Tesla's revenues are car revenues. What? But that means it's not a car company. Yeah, 86% are from cars. It's a car company, you absolute morons. Okay, so still a car company, and it's a massively slowing down car company. Now, here's the thing. Okay, I see total gross profit here, and I see total gain margin. Do they have automotive gross margin in here? If I remember last time, they showed their automotive gross margin. Maybe I'm crazy, but they specifically broke out their automotive gross margin. Maybe it's somewhere else on the report and I'm just missing it. But now they're only showing the total gross margin. Why are they doing that? That's really weird. Actually, I'm going to look automotive gross. No, it's not here. Where's the gross margin for the autos? Why are they hiding it? I mean, maybe I missed it, but isn't that kind of weird? They're hiding their gross margin, but their gross margin has fallen. Okay, their gross margin is now 19.3%. And look at it prior. Here's what the shills always said. And I just love being so right. I love it. And people gave me crap, and I could have been so rich just shilling Tesla stock, but I didn't do it. And y'all still give me crap. Okay. I know it's how it is. But I said, if they cut prices, their gross margin's gonna go down. And all the shills were like, but if you cut prices, because they don't know how to calculate gross margin, sales minus cost of goods sold divided by sales, but that means it's going to go up. Their gross margin went down because they cut prices, and their price cuts were faster than their costs. They were not able to bring their costs down as fast as their price cuts. And it was so hard to predict this. Basic math. Okay, so their gross margin is 19%, and it's collapsing, okay? Year over year, it's down almost 10%. Oh, my God. You want to tell me, and they just cut their prices. They just cut vehicle prices again. You want to tell me this is not a bubble stock, okay? All I heard is that Tesla's going to continuously improve their gross margins. That's what I seem to hear all the time. They were going to grow their revenue at 50%. Gross margins were going to go up and up and up. All the other auto manufacturers were going to die, even though they have positive cash flow and whatever. And now look.
I love how they put it in basis points too. That's just great. They all of the margins that are all three negative, okay, are named in basis points. So that's like 9.77%. That's ridiculous.
Oh my God. Everything seems to be going bad for Tesla. I wonder why. What's Elon going to say next to keep the stock up? I wonder. What's his next thing he's going to pump up? So next we have income from operations. Negative 26%, down negative 26% year over year. Their operating margin is 11%. That is a massive collapse, okay? Their operating margins prior to that, 19, 14,
strong man.
17, 16.
Lynn, yep.
And they just cut prices again. What do you think the next quarter's going to be? I don't know. This is so hard. And their net income has dropped. Guys, I don't know what to tell you. And if you still believe these shills, you are stupid.
This is like classic strongman.
Okay, I don't analyze. I don't
feel
sit
like
around and analyze Tesla stock, but I can tell you, their revenue's slowing down, their growth rate's slowing down, their margins are going down, everything's going down. This stock is a bubble, but the clowns are still clinging on. They're still clinging. Oh, please, any moment now, Tesla's going to 10x. I mean, look at the cash flow. Operating cash flow down negative 37%. Free cash flow down 80%. Massive collapse year over year. This is bad, okay? Now Tesla's not unprofitable. They're still making money. They're still growing revenue. And that's what the clowns will tell you. They're still growing revenue. See? And all the other companies, they're not growing revenue. Yeah, because Tesla is a growing new company and the other companies are mature. But okay, whatever. This is a joke. This is horrible. But apparently you clowns can't see the writing on the wall. This is a clown stock. I told you, okay? To me, it's so obvious that this is a bubble. It's so obvious. Now, I hedge my bets. I own it in VT. I do. And I don't short Tesla. But this is a bubble. If you can't see it by now, you are a moron. And most of you bought Tesla stock. Most of you bought this stock. Let me see. Let's zoom out a little bit. It's down 48% over the year. Most of you probably bought Tesla here in the 200s. I guarantee it. Or even in the 300s or 400s. I guarantee most of you clowns bought Tesla up there. And guess where you're at now? 173. And now margins are collapsing. And now revenue growth rate is collapsing. And you clowns still sit there. I had a comment earlier. I wish I could pull it up right now. I had a comment. This guy was like, I shouldn't have listened to you. You said Tesla was bad and then it went up. And I was like, okay, stocks can fluctuate. They can. But that doesn't mean Tesla's not a bubble. Okay? Whatever. Keep signing up for Stephen Mark Ryan's Patreon. Keep giving that idiot money. Do whatever you got to do. Just give him all your money. Okay? All right, let me do some comments. I'm getting dinner. I'm freaking hungry. I just ran for about 30 minutes. I'm hungry. Strongman, how many
All right, let's see what this guy says.
Hello, everybody. Fartaculacticus, #1 son of Fuck You, World Series of Dice champion 2 years in a row. I wanted to talk about last night. I had made a video. I don't think I was being too harsh, but right now at this time, I do think it's time, at least in my opinion, to reach out to other people out there that might be deciding to move this further than it is, further than YouTube videos, further than tweets, and into other realms to rectify the wrongs that they've done to retail investors. And I'm just saying, I'm here. You can DM me, you can email me. My email should be in my main page on YouTube. If not, I'll post my contact information on my main page. When I get to know somebody, I can text and we could talk that way. I'm never that good on the phone. I'm hardly very coherent on the phone, forming my words and sentences, things like that. But I think it's time to move it a little bit further. You guys could see all the evidence going around Twitter, YouTube, and of course you have Adam Aaron's defenders.
All the evidence?
It's beyond my comprehension with some of them, how they could still do it, and there's only one logical reason why. But
but to make money? He's going to say to make money, right?
It's going to move past that. I think they should be involved in it, as far as they need to be called out for what they did, like I said in other videos. But I'm here to be a witness. I'm here to, if I have to travel somewhere to go there to make this happen. They've done so many egregious things to people that it's just time. It's ripe right now. And I know there's going to be comments online, trust the process. I'm trusting the process right now. I'm trusting the legal process. I'm not trusting the stock market process right now. We're going to the legal process is where I'm getting at. And Adam Aaron can answer those type of hard questions, not the softballs that some of these YouTube influencers are going to throw at him. Anyway, if you want to reach out to me, I'm here. I haven't really looked at all of the stuff today, but I did see a few relevant posts that point to even the board being involved in some nefarious activities, enough to where it should be any investor, any retail investor should be alarmed at what is going on. All the trust that we put in them, they're fine with taking the money, but they're not fine with doing their job, and that's where we're at. So anybody needs to reach out to me. I don't mind. I'm ready to go. Thank you, everybody. Woo!
Wow. Well, since I don't have anything to say at the current moment, let's go to Lou.
All right, everybody.
Back to the stairwell.
Play with me for a few seconds here on a thought I had. Okay, you know how Popcorn turned around and said, yes, the shareholders voted for this. It was great. Everything is fine, but we never get to see the votes. We never get to see anything. What are we going to do? We're going to sue, subpoena to get documents and everything. I think it's time. I think we've gotten to that point where, technically speaking, for lack of a better word, AMC shareholders, retail, have to unionize in a sense. They have to get together and appoint.
Unionize. The AMC Stockholders Union. AMC Stockholders Union.
To be their representative to the board and the company, and possibly, let's face it, the court.
No.
I think at the end of the
provision for that. Nobody cares.
When you look at this nonsense where Antara was able to buy APE at below the regulated price, like that was like 58 cents or some shit like that. The fact that we voted no, but APE was still created, and at the end of the day, Antara got all these voting rights and privileges, whatever the fuck they got. I think that retail has not been heard at all.
Yeah, because you know what? The company got money. So That's what they needed. The company got money.
Can't get it as far as what we voted yes or no. So here's what I'm saying. Don't look at me for leadership. Trust me. If you were to elect me, I'll get a couple of phone calls from the government. So I'm not even gonna bother. Hello, government. Relax. I'm not doing that. You know stocks and crypto play?
Oh yeah.
Very simple. I'll put this message out to them. Get an online service polling. They have them out there. Or get an email address, put it out there publicly, and let AMC shareholders email you with a simple message. Here is my AMC vote. And on the bottom, let it say, this is my name. I am an AMC shareholder, and I vote you to represent us. Now, here's the thing. On that email or the poll, you will see the numbers of the amount of people that will say that. This information could be then handed over to the judge if we do this in time in order to show that at the end of the day, we didn't agree or we did agree with this. Now, we're going to get everybody 5, 6, 7 million people? No. But I think at the end of the day, the reason why retail is having their ass handed to them is we have no say, which is...
I mean, no. You could definitely do an AMC share count off of that. Just have people, do that and write down how many shares they have, and then you can add them all up, and then you can extrapolate it to 4.1 million, and you can find out how many shares there are, how many synthetics there are. Sorry, don't discount the value of extrapolation.
Because we're bigger than every fucking hedge fund out there, but we have no. I'm not gonna say leader. Nothing. It's supposed to be popcorn. Okay, but we know how that goes. We need somebody that could represent everybody. Go, no, fuck that. My people and me, we didn't vote for this shit.
Because that's not how it works. Quite simply, it's not how it works. Contractually, you have certain rights. That's it. Anything else is a delusion. And corporation is the corporation is not a person. They don't. Nobody cares actually. Like, oh my God. When they thought that Silverback could sell ape at a premium. I know, right? He can offer it above market price. And because they have to cover their short positions, they're going to have to buy it. Oh yeah, I remember that. He can offer it above market price because they have to buy it. They have to buy it. Oh my God. That's what happens when you have a generation that got participation trophies and we're taught not to keep score because everyone wins. A lot of that. But even with these older dudes, though, like the other guy that I closed out here, the guy we just saw, shrunken head guy, like it's crazy. Maybe it's permeated all generations. I think it's because of the internet. It's because of cell phones. Roosters
And that one person then can go speak to an attorney and go, look at all the proof. Look at all the people. Contact any one of those people. It's verified by their IP address. Ask any of them to show you proof that they're shareholders, and they will. Think about that. It is time for AMC,
except you,
the AMC retail shareholders, to unite and appoint someone to represent them to the court.
A leader, then.
Because trust me.
Well, Donnie
Who
George is already going to Delaware for the hearing was canceled. Remember those two dudes, those two best buds had a phone call when they talked about it. And they were shocked. They together were shocked. So I don't know. I guess he doesn't get to go to the court.
That
Dang.
person's an attorney, but that person could technically present stuff to an attorney and go, look, this is what's going on. All these people don't want this. Right now, I could say
all these people don't want this.
We don't know.
Too bad.
Let that swim in your head. There's tons of online polling services, and we can get this thing going like in a week. But what if, I don't know, a couple of million people vote, yo, we didn't want this.
We don't, all these people, we all don't want this.
What it is, we don't have the proof. We don't have it. And it's time to start doing this. I never thought in my world.
Well, that's crazy.
Hedge funds have a hedge fund manager. Think about that. We don't have one person. I stay neutral on this. I'm an AMC shareholder, so at the end of the day, that's how it is. Let it swim in your head. Because that's how they've been fucking us.
That's how they've been fucking you. That is how right there. That's how. Okay, so I got a number for you here. 1 second. I got a number that will blow your mind. All right, ready for this one? 1.3 million. 1.3 million. Not dollars, not apes, not synthetic shares. 1.3 million lawyers. There are 1.3, according to the American Bar Association National Lawyer Population Survey. As of January 1st, 2022, there were 1,327,010 active lawyers in the United States and its territories. 1.3 million lawyers. And seemingly, like 2 or 3 of them, like, I don't even know if Wes Christian's on this case. I don't know, if he's involved or what, but apparently there's, a handful, maybe 6 lawyers involved with the rest of them. The rest of all of these 1.3 million lawyers, they don't care about AMC. They do not care. I bet, and I would be willing to probably bet that some of these 1.3 million lawyers are AMC shareholders, but they don't care enough about this, or they realize, you know what? Yeah, that was $10,000 I lost, but or they turned the $10,000 into I don't know, 4.2 million during the short squeeze in 2021, and and they bought one share as a memento, and that's their AMC share that's now worthless. And they're like, oh, look at that worthless share. I made $4 million off that shit. What are these people talking about? I mean, you got to wonder, what the fuck? Oh, I wanted to watch this video actually.
So, guys.
So I found this video yesterday. I think it was yesterday.
AMC
somebody, or or someone else.
Yet again today, and the stock.
I can't remember who, if it was me or if it was somebody on the research team, but
market in
it was found.
Is not looking good either. We have to break down AMC stock in this video, and we'll go over the stock market and a couple other companies that reported earnings. So if y'all find value, hit that like button, make sure to subscribe, and of course, don't forget to get up to 15 stocks for Moomoo. It is free money. Use that. Nothing is looking good right now. Well, except for Bed Bath & Beyond and DraftKings. Not these stocks, because again, nothing is looking good right now. Well, except for Bed Bath & Beyond and DraftKings and a couple other companies that we talked about earlier, but other than those, the markets are not looking pretty. So let's dive into it. AMC stock right now is down about 3%. It's down 14 cents on the day, and it's at roughly
this was yesterday.
$5.05 right now. And earlier in the day, guys, which is not good, it fell under $5 a share, which I've talked to you guys about in the past couple of videos. If AMC starts falling under 5, it could start selling off more aggressively, especially if it takes the lows out from, I believe this was on Friday. Yes, Friday the 14th of April, right around 490. If we take that low out, the selling could pick up like crazy, at least in my opinion, right? We can see right here, the low from yesterday was right around $5.15. Again, we took that out this morning on the big dump we had in the beginning of the day where AMC went from 530 down to about 498. That was a drop of around 5.5%, 6%.
Wait. He's not going to say from the naked shorting that they did at the beginning of the day? Huh. Okay.
And we've been consolidating since that big drop initially when the markets
realize
opened,
what's going on with AMC.
Now we're starting to fall back under the moving averages here on the 1-day, 1-minute chart. And if this starts going down to 498, we take that level out, guys. We start going back to 490. The low from Friday, it is.
Well, the joke's on him. It didn't happen.
Selling will start picking up, in my opinion, to the point where we start breaking this little uptrend that we've been on for the past roughly 10 days, 2 weeks. And it's not really that crazy of an uptrend. I mean, you guys can see we're fighting to hold higher lows, but at the same time, we're making lower highs. So essentially, it is a wedge here. Again, lower highs are being made at the same time as we're making higher lows. So if we fall under 490, which I'll set my alert right now, Marcus.
Look at this crime here on AMC. Oops. Let's reset this transformation. Yeah. Oh my God, look at this crime in the after hours. Holy shit. But you know, I think this thing, yeah. Looks like, yeah, I would say it probably, I mean, okay, closed a nickel up. Okay.
That were below $4.90. This could end up again selling off aggressively. At that point, we'll break the lows from a couple days ago. We'll break the 180 SMA, and we might start free falling under the wedge here on the 20-day 1-hour chart, which you guys can see even better here on the 4-hour chart. Let me show you guys this. If I zoom in a bit, don't you guys see the wedge here? We're pretty much testing the bottom of it. So get ready. If again AMC starts falling under here, we could start slipping.
Got a wedge.
Low fours.
We got a wedge.
Even under that fairly quickly, at least in my opinion.
Got a wedge.
So AMC is not looking good right now. The overall markets are not looking good right now either. But Bed Bath & Beyond stock, look at that, guys. This thing keeps on trucking along. Right now, it's up 16% on the day. It's at 32 cents, and we're digging ourselves deeper and deeper into this ascending triangle. Do you guys see this on the 5-day, 5-minute? We're pretty much getting ready to explode.
Yeah, I almost bought calls on this one.
Could explode above 33, 34, 35 cents, which if it does, we're going to get a big leg up. The ascending triangle is going to be playing out, and it could start.
Yeah, I'm not really down for that one right now, but you know, see, we already got him. Oh, here we go. Here we go. New court documents.
Hey friends, welcome to Stocks and Crypto Plays. I'm talking.
Would this be considered breaking? I mean, would this be considered breaking news? I don't know. Kind of looks like it based on the headline. But it could be just be that he's
You're being a little bitch.
I don't
You're being a little bitch.
It looks like Charles Payne was being a little bitch with AMC stock recently, but all right.
Talking about AMC stock, and I'm going to be talking about the AMC court case. I have the latest updates, and we have Brian Tuttle's response to the plaintiff's opposition to intervene.
Look at his facial expressions. He's fired up. He's fired up. I don't know if this is going to be a good update or not.
I have the latest updates, and we have Brian Tuttle's response to the plaintiff's opposition to intervene. Brand new documents hot off the press. I printed them out, the whole thing, and I read through it and studied it.
Hot off the press. He printed them out. That's not what that...
For you and I and our group. Okay, friends, so...
Wait a minute. Who... Oh, he's not going to start the video with a prayer? Okay.
This brings up another thing into my mind. These this group that sued AMC, were they a plant? Were they a plant? Although this lawsuit has been a blessing, were they a plant, and were they working with AMC as well? I don't know that. I'm just wondering that, because why are they?
Natural question to ask. I mean,
saying they don't want Brian Tuttle to intervene and to get involved in this lawsuit.
Because he's a piece of shit.
Because he's going to help the whole AMC community.
Look at this. They think people are helping them. I mean, isn't this the same flawed logic and lack of critical thinking that got these people into the situation that they're in the first place? I mean, again, I ask, is this not the same lack of due diligence essentially, that got them into the situation that they are currently in. So they're ready to blindly trust Brian Tuttle, you know, because he is going to help them. He's going to help us, just like Adam Aaron was going to help you, just like, you know, everybody's going to, just like the judge is going to help. Well, let's find out.
Bring up some amazing
1 minute, less than 1 minute in.
To help the whole AMC community.
Let me go back a little more.
Brian Tuttle to intervene and to get involved in this lawsuit. I'm just wondering why. Because he's going to help the whole AMC community because he's bringing up some amazing strong points. And this letter is amazing. You all need to read it, okay? Later tonight or tomorrow, I'll post in the community notes a link to this. And thank you to all of you on Twitter that send me messages and updates, and all of you that help me, and also all of you that help me here on YouTube. I'm so grateful to you. So let's get started. I'm just going to give you a few brief points. This is going to be part one. I'll do part two later because I know legal stuff is takes a lot of mental energy. So I'm just going to do a little bit now, and I'll do it like a part two and maybe a part three. So this is part one right here. Hit like, subscribe, and notifications. Share the video with a friend. And after this video, go watch my other video from earlier today where I tell you that Adam Aaron colluded with Allegheny.
You know how I know this is a serious video of his? I mean, this could be anything, I realize, but how I know this is a serious video for this guy, no applause at the beginning and no background music. Yeah, very solemn. It's a solemn video. It's serious.
Strong, powerful messages in there for you because it's very factual and it's from the SEC documents, okay? Adam Aaron signed over control to, not Allegheny, but to Antara, apologize, typo. So let's get started with this, friends. So what is he saying?
Oh, yeah. Response to the plane. By the way, he was saying, was it yesterday or the day before, that Antara did a hostile takeover of AMC? It's always, it's always something with these guys. Always something.
Opposition to intervene. Well, I
hostile takeover
here to share with you. He brings up that, amongst other things, Allegheny, representing AMC common stockholders as a class, challenged a course of complex, disloyal corporate engineering, which included a violation of the DGCL for the very obvious purpose of eviscerating AMC's common specific power and rights, which is true. This whole thing was designed to cancel the power of the common shareholders, you and I, friends. Why? Because we own AMC.
Because you suck as shareholders.
AMC is not owned by Adam Aaron and the board. We own it. So they want to take away all the power.
Wow. I mean, no, you don't. No, you don't own the company. I mean, my God, you don't run the company. You don't own the company. Sorry. Because if you did, let me say this. If you did own the company, you would realize that the company needs to raise fucking money in order to keep operating. And you wouldn't have voted against selling shares because you thought that the stock was going to short squeeze and you were going to dump it and make a lot of money, like Tom Vu style. And, it makes no sense. How do you expect the company to do well if that's what will eliminate a short thesis? How do you expect that to happen if they are running out of cash? The thing that they pay their employees, the thing that they use to buy, the food and stuff, the popcorn that they sell, you got to have cash. So this is so stupid. This is so stupid.
Common stock. And that's what they did with the retail owns AMC. AMC is not owned by Adam Aaron and the board. We own it. So they want to take away all the power.
You're shitty owners.
Stock. And that's what they did with the preferred shares. And some of the YouTubers out there that are challenging me are saying, no, the preferred stock was to protect us from a hostile takeover. well, maybe initially in 2012, but that's not what it was used for here, starting in 2022, when it was actually enacted. They're using the preferred shares as a hostile takeover in conjunction with Antara Capital.
That makes no sense.
Takeover from you and I, the retail.
That's not how that works. Learn what a hostile takeover is before you go out and say that that's what's happening, because that is retarded. That's legitimately stupid, okay? That's not what's happening here at all. Oh my God.
Let's see.
At least he reads better than Al, though.
Complaint Allegheny continued, the class are
not a bad reader.
A declaratory judgment that the preferred stock is invalid and may not be voted. So he's arguing that the preferred stock should not be voted in the allowed to be voted, and they did use it to vote.
That will never happen, and I'll tell you why. Because it was issued under the terms that it had these voting rights. It was issued that way. That's what was amended. That's what was in the filing that authorized this, that created it, that set the whole thing up. It was from the beginning. Everybody knew that APE shares, the preferred equity units, had equal voting rights as common stock shares. That was known, and it was factored into the price, supposedly, theoretically, let's say. So you can't go back you now retroactively and remove its voting rights, because it has traded since it began trading under the knowledge. I'm not even going to say assumption. I'm going to say knowledge that it had these benefits. And now you want to change those benefits. And it just does not work like that. It does not work like that. I personally do not see this happening. Everybody knew it, including Delaware, including the Delaware Secretary of State, which I guess admittedly is part of the executive branch, I think. I think so, but in the state. But regardless, the state government, the state of Delaware, knew what AMC was doing with this, because they had to submit all of this shit not only to the SEC, but to Delaware, because the corporation is registered in Delaware. So the notion that they, I mean, like I said in a previous stream, they either missed this, Delaware either missed this, and these clowns, this clown Tuttle, caught it and is calling the court out on it. Either that happened, or it's not applicable, or they already know about it and they don't have a problem with it, which is probably most likely the case. In which case, no. Why would the courts stop APE? If the state didn't see a problem with AMC issuing it when they filed to do that, why would they? Nothing has changed about it. All the terms were known when it was issued. That's why I'm saying, what's the more fair thing? What is the more fair thing for the court to do? It's not, in my opinion, it is not more fair to more people and overall to change the terms of something months later, after the terms have been known by everybody, including market participants who traded under those terms. It's not going to happen. Well, it's not going to happen. There's no way. Absolutely not.
And they used it with the assistance of APE, which is illegal. And it goes on to say here how they used the computer share, which allowed AMC to impose depository voting requirements on computer share, pursuant to which computer share is required to vote uninstructed shares according to the wishes of the company. Interesting. The computer share agreements and Antara pledged votes deceptively amplified the percentage you are reporting by boosting computer share non-votes. Do you realize, friends, in that vote, only 35% of common shareholders voted? And when I say that, it's even less. You know why? Because, you know, if I own 10,000 shares myself, I'm voting all 10,000 shares and I'm only one person, okay? So, you know, if Adam Aaron votes, he has 2 million shares, that's 2 million votes, okay? So out of all of those, only 35% of the shares were voted. That's not a majority of the AMC common.
That sounds like a you guys problem. That sounds like a typical outcome of an election. That sounds like, you know, that sounds like you guys didn't show up to vote. So how is this anybody else's problem? How is this anybody's? So you're just not going to show up and then bitch about the outcome. Guess what? It don't work like that. That it would not be more fair to go back and redo a vote that the majority of shareholders chose not to participate in. I mean, come on. Come on. This is the ultimate in blaming somebody else for your inaction. Holy shit. God damn it. That's incredible.
So, you know, if Adam Aaron votes, he has 2 million shares, that's 2 million votes, okay? So out of all of those, only 35% of the shares were voted. That's not a majority of the AMC common shares. That's not even a majority. They can't make changes like that, okay, friends? So let's go back to this.
Well, I mean, the thing is, the APE unit was issued with voting rights equal to common stock. I mean, that's the reality. I mean, think about this. Think about this. You had 100 shares. You have 100 shares. You have 100 votes, let's say. Then you get issued 100 APE. So now you have 100 AMC and 100 APE. Now you have a total of 200 votes. So, like, it's just, I don't even know what to say. Like, this is so dumb. This is the dumbest shit that I've heard today in AMC in the last 6 hours. Yeah, AMC people are retarded, and that is not a joke. Not a joke. Wow.
Okay, now a settlement has been proposed. Allegheny is arguing declaratory judgment on whether or not AMC engaged in complex, disloyal corporate engineering. Yes, they did. Just watch my previous video. Let's get back to this. As incorporated by reference in...
Isn't that the CEO's kind of job? You know, to work out these deals, keep the company going? I mean, I don't know. No, just play golf all day.
Engaged in complex, disloyal corporate engineering. Yes, they did. Just watch my previous
disloyal. Video. So the apes would say, you know what, Adam Aaron, you made a deal that helped out the company, raised a little cash, got rid of a little debt. You did a deal that was a disloyal deal. That was a disloyal deal. That was harmful to me as a shareholder. I don't know whether it was good or bad for the company. I don't care about the company. I care about myself. Damn it. I care about myself and my short squeeze, my MOAS. So I'm going to sue you or I'm going to try to, you know, butt into this ongoing lawsuit with this retarded bullshit. I mean, come on. Wow.
Let's get back to this. As incorporated by reference in Tuttle's motion to intervene, Mr. Tuttle stated a petition to opt out of the proposed settlement as of the filing of this response. Now, this is a very important part right here, friends. I want to get in on this petition. I want all of us to get in on it because I want to opt out, and I suggest you all opt out of this settlement because I don't want it. I don't want 1 share for every 7.5 shares that I own, okay?
God, he's so sassy.
Okay.
Look at that. His body language, his head movement, he's a little bitch. This guy is a little bitch, you know?
You're being a little bitch.
Damn. I would not want to be on this guy's bad side. Look at this.
Of this settlement because I don't want it. I don't want one share for every 7.5 shares that I own. Okay, that's chump change. Okay,
chump change
agree to this settlement, and none of you should either. That's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Okay, friends. So back to here. It says,
yeah, the friends thing makes it creepy. Makes it creepy. Makes it cultish. You know, it sounds like some kind of weird church or something. I don't know. I don't like it either.
1,700 purported shareholders have signed the petition requesting the opportunity.
1,700. 1,700. Ooh, getting some numbers there. 1,700 out of 4 million. That's a cool 4/10 of 1. No, 0.04%. 0.04% of all the shareholders, according to the apes. You know how many they say there are, and all that nonsense. But look, here it is. Here's a percentage, so you can hold on. Oh, here's the percentage. 0.0425% of shareholders. Oh man, that's great. What a successful petition.
The settlement. Where is this petition? Because I want to sign it, and I bet you guys too. If you know where this petition is, comment below. Put the link in the comments.
He doesn't have the petition. I have the fucking petition.
Friends, okay?
Are you kidding me? He doesn't know the petition? Are you fucking kidding me?
Plaintiff's representation.
Wow. What an idiot.
On paragraph 12, in the opposition.
Oh, you know what? Oh, we better do this. We better look. Over 2,000 have now signed. Oh, man. We got people signing right now. 12 minutes ago, 14 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago. Look at this. Reasons for signing. I can't put them in order. I don't want the oldest ones. Nobody wanted APE. It was nothing but a tool to circumvent shareholders. So the vote went in CEO's favor. Company's favor, actually. It was clear shareholders never wanted to authorize more shares, and this was the CEO's way around it. They are, I mean, can you imagine being this blind? Look at the way that some random ape here 4 days ago described why they signed this petition. It was clear shareholders never wanted to authorize more shares, and this was the CEO's way around it. Oh my God. We suspect that AMC has many synthetic shares, and we would like a count. That's not what this petition's for. Tim, he created APE, made millions, and wants to covert it back and make retail lose again after holding for 2 years. Yeah, he probably does. He probably does. And I say, good on him. Good on him if he does.
Plaintiffs mischaracterized Tuttle's common question of law as single challenge. While plaintiffs are correct in their assertion, Tuttle believes that only AMC common stockholders should have been permitted to vote on the proposal to increase the authorized number of shares of AMC common stock. Tuttle has raised other common questions of law and facts as to whether or not the computer share agreement to pledge uninstructed votes as affirmative and or the super voting powers given to preferred stock without shareholder approval also violate DGCL 242.D.I.87. And I fully agree with that. They cannot do what they did.
Yeah, he has no fucking clue what he's even talking about. He has, I mean, listen to him. DGCL. Does he even know what that fucking is? Does anybody know what that fucking is? Well, I mean, yeah, I do because I looked it up. What was it? 242? Yeah. I mean, that's a followed link. I was looking at this stuff yesterday. But, you know, so it says here, it's an amendment of certificate of incorporation after receipt of payment for stock, non-stock corporations. talks about how corporations can amend their certificate of incorporation, add things, right, to increase or decrease its authorized capital stock, or reclassify, combining, subdividing class of shares, yada yada yada, right? Now, does he say which section? I forget.
Violated DGCL 242.D.I.87.
DI87. Wait a minute. What? I got to listen to that again.
Given to preferred stock without shareholder approval also violated DGCL 242.D.I.87. And I fully agree with that.
242.D as in dog? There's no D. It's ABC. Let me hear this again.
Without shareholder approval also violated DGCL 242.D.I.87. And I fully agree with that. They cannot.
.87. I mean, look, this is 242. And A, B, I'm just showing you that I'm not making this up. C, there is no D under 242. So, not sure what he's talking about. Maybe it was supposed to be B, and I don't know what the 87 is. But I'm just reading through this here. I don't know. Maybe they're talking about this section here where it talks about the holders of the outstanding shares of a class shall be entitled to vote as a class upon a proposed amendment, whether or not entitled to vote thereon by the certificate of incorporation, if the amendment would increase or decrease the aggregate number of authorized shares of each class, increase or decrease the par value of the shares of such class, or alter or change the powers, preferences, or special rights of the shares of such class so as to affect them adversely. Okay, so that's one statement here. Then there's, if any proposed amendment would alter or change the powers, preferences, or special rights of one or more series of any class so as to affect them adversely, but shall not so affect the entire class, then only the shares of the series so affected by the amendment shall be considered a separate class for the purposes of this paragraph. So there's that. The number of authorized shares of any such class or classes of stock may be increased or decreased, but not below the number of shares thereof then outstanding, by the affirmative vote of the holders of a majority of the stock of the corporation entitled to vote irrespective of this subsection, if so provided in the original certificate of incorporation, and any amendment thereto which created such class or classes of stock, or which was adopted prior to the issuance of any shares of such class or classes of stock, or in any amendment thereto which was authorized by a resolution or resolutions adopted by the affirmative vote of the holders of a majority of such class or classes of stock. So, I'm not 100% sure, but it doesn't sound like any of these things really apply. First of all, this does not affect them adversely, even though they want to claim that it does. I don't think that it does. Technically, they think that it does, probably because it doesn't give them a MOAS. But what the hell are we talking about here? He was never and has never been a financial advisor. Yes, Keith Gill was a financial advisor. Sorry, he was a financial advisor. He was registered with FINRA. He was employed as an investment advisor when the whole thing happened. Why don't you go get some facts, okay? God damn. I can't believe that we're arguing. Dude, don't even, like, what the fuck? Why are you fucking, I mean, I'm going to treat you as a troll and just remove you for now, okay? Like, I'm not going to waste time on this bullshit because it, like, no. That is some dumbass shit. You do not want me to prove you fucking wrong right now. I'm telling you. No, you don't. So I'm just going to do this and, just forget about it. But I'm telling you, you don't want me to come after you right now. Okay? So enjoy the rest of the stream, but you're fucking wrong. And I don't have time or the desire to deal with it, but you can go look that up yourself. Type in Keith Gill, FINRA, investment advisor, and you will see what I am talking about. For once, take the initiative. That's a headline. That looks like a headline. Was that a headline from something, Manuel? Looks like a headline. His employer was fined. I mean, I don't know. But anyway. So yeah. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention to the chat, so if I missed something, I don't know. I just saw retardation and there's already enough of that. We already got enough fucking shit.
Do what they did.
They can go do that shit in this guy's chats and comments. There has to be somewhere that doesn't accept that, and I just, I decided it's going to be here. So, I just don't want it.
And by the way, only 35% of the shares of the common shares were voted. That's not a majority. They cannot move forward.
Well, it sounds like what he's also admitting here is that retail doesn't own the float. Because if retail owned 80%, 80, 90, whatever, 120% of the fucking float, why the fuck doesn't the vote reflect that? Why the hell wouldn't you vote if it was so goddamn important? Like, what? So many questions come up here, and the answer always leads back to, well, you guys did it. This is what you guys did. Why did you do that? I don't know. I'm asking you. Why did you do this? Why didn't you do this? Now you're bitching about it, saying it was illegal? Give me a fucking break. Because you don't like it, it's illegal. Well, guess what? That's fucking stupid. That is so fucking retarded. That's not the way anything works. Nothing works that way. Unless maybe you're like infinitely rich, which the apes will never be. So,
let's take a look.
God damn.
13 AMC did not receive affirmative instructions. I'm going to fast forward a little bit here. The number of authorized shares of any class may be increased by the affirmative vote of the holders of, here we go, the majority of the stock of the corporation entitled to vote, DGCL 242. The computer share depository agreement pledging non-instructed units for defendants was the linchpin in defendants' scheme to circumvent DGCL 242. Without the unlawful computer share agreement, the vote fails. I love this.
Also, I love, was that, yeah, so that was of AMC stock, right?
DGCL 242. Without the unlawful computer share agreement, the vote fails. I love this guy, whoever this Brian Tuttle is. I love him. He's
whoever he is, like not like you could find anything out about him if you actually tried. But of course, no. Did he go to that effort? Did he take that much? Just basic Google search? No. Yeah. God damn. This is some dumb shit. But also, I love the irony here that computer share has come back to bite them in the ass. I mean, you can't make this shit up. They're the ones who fucking wanted to use computer share. So let me hear the phrase again. What do they call it?
of the stock of the corporation entitled to vote, DGCL 242. The computer share depository agreement pledging non-instructed units for defendants was the linchpin in
non-instructed units.
Holders of, here we go, the majority of the stock of the corporation entitled to vote, DGCL 242. The computer share depository.
Wait a minute. Okay.
To vote, DGCL 242. The computer share depository agreement pledging non-instructed units for defendants was the linchpin in
non-instructed units for defendants. Okay. Non-instructed, meaning the shareholder did not instruct computer share how to vote their shares. I thought that they owned them. Why do they have so many questions? But still, at the end of the day, computer share fucked them in the ass. It sounds like.
defendant's scheme to circumvent DGCL 242 without the unlawful computer share agreement, the vote fails. I love this guy, whoever this Brian.
Like these clowns and Brian Tuttle, failed developer from Florida, failed litigator, failed developer from Florida. You know, he is bright enough, and I don't think he's a lawyer. Is he a lawyer? I can't remember if he's a lawyer or not. Wasn't he once a race car driver? Anyway, he has the brilliant legal mind that he realized, you know, all these things were illegal, even though they were filed with the SEC, filed with the Secretary of State of Delaware before they went live. I mean, how can you make this shit up? You can't.
I love him. He's talented, and he's got a talented lawyer, clearly. We need to get in on this, okay? Whatever.
Well, he is trying to get in on the case of which y'all are a party to. So, I mean, why didn't he, if this was so illegal, here's my question. Was he planning on bringing this action independently of Allegheny's suit? Like, why didn't he bring it up? Why is he trying to latch on to, you know, this existing lawsuit? I don't know. Questions. Or, did he get this idea? I mean, the first thing we heard from him regarding AMC, I think, Manuel, probably correct me if I'm wrong, was like beginning of April. Isn't that when that petition was started in like April 5th or something? So that's after the lawsuit came out. How do we know that he didn't see the lawsuit and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna grift this? We don't know that. I personally don't know that at this point. I'm not saying that that's the case, but so we don't know off the top of our head here. How in the hell does he know anything? He can't even do a Google search. Terrible.
We need to get on that petition because
what's up, Chris?
I don't want to be a part of that settlement if it gets.
Thanks for the like.
Sure none of you do as well.
Enjoy the eclipse.
If you take the shares, the one share for every 7.5 that you own, if you take that, you can't sue them.
I can't. I didn't know you lived in Australia, Chris. Crypto Plays Research is just reading the filings. He doesn't fact check any of the claims in it. Just read it and bingo. Reminds me of Charlie's vids back in, 2021. Charlie's vids in terms of how he would read and misinterpret those filings. Oh my God, it's so bad, so terrible. Speaking of the devil, Let's do him again. Let's do a Charlie 2 play.
All right, so this is what I'm going to do. Anybody that wants to look at this crime happen in real time can do so. I've made just a temporary small Discord for anybody to use. There's no cost associated with it. It's utilizing some publicly available API data and then some streaming data as well, just a very, very small portion of it, so that you can see the ADF transactions occurring for AMC and
Wow.
GME. I'm going to create two.
Wow, I need to see the ADF. Oh, okay. So he initially collaborated with Allegheny's lawyers. He just doesn't agree with the settlement. Okay. Okay. So he was part of the lawsuit when it was initiated, when it was launched towards AMC. Then is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying?
Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? Or are you saying it? What are you saying?
What are you saying?
Huh?
What are you saying? Huh? I love that guy. He's hilarious. Okay, so he's created a Discord so we can see basic trading data that you can see on fucking Fidelity. Yes. Yes, you can. Let's do it. You want to see ADF transactions, which is off-exchange transactions? Why didn't you just say so, Charlie? I know you have Fidelity. Just go into Active Trader Pro. You can see it right here. You can filter the exchange down to ADF and hit apply. And look, there's all your ADF trades. Amazing. Wow. Look at that. Who knew? I mean, I did. I've been talking about this for 2 years. Fucking clown. Okay. Yeah, I don't need to hear that again. But what I do want to find market moves with Tony. What are you saying? Huh? What are you saying? All right.
Let me give you an example.
Let me give you an example of how ridiculous I am. All right, here we go. These guys and their fucking lip smacking.
Today is April 17th, 2023. Let me start by saying I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This information is intended for entertainment and educational purposes.
Make sure.
Today we'll be talking about what used to be stock symbol MMTLP and is now the private company Nextbridge Hydrocarbons, as denoted by the letters NBH. Tomorrow, Gary Gensler will be appearing before Congress. Gary Gensler is the SEC chair, and that's what this video is primarily about. He'll be talking about a variety of things regarding the SEC, and we'll see what he has to say. Since he is chair of the SEC, I thought it would be interesting to hear what a recent tweet from the SEC was on April 5th. Let's see what they said.
Don't give your money to a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Oh, I love this one.
Before you invest, investor.gov.
Oh, I love that one.
Well, unfortunately, I unknowingly gave some money.
This sounds like his normal spiel. Sounds like his whole normal spiel. Yeah, it is. Same damn thing that he talks about all the time. Oh, look, but here is Mr. Little Bitch himself. Right?
And like we mentioned, this, legislation has been introduced to fire Gary Gensler as the chairman of the SEC. But who's next in the chain of command?
That's hilarious. Why in the fuck would Congress fire Gary Gensler? Isn't it Gary Gensler's SEC under which they've made bank? They all made a shit ton of money in the stock market. Why would they fire the fucking SEC chief? Holy fuck.
Who could we be getting? Well, we might be getting someone like Hester Pierce. And thank you to Charles V. Payne for actually interviewing Hester Pierce today. Thank you to Busy Brands for actually tweeting this video. Let's hear what Charles V. Payne had to say about...
Oh, Model 3 dude. Stock and crypto plays has already called it a hostile takeover. He thinks that the Antara deal, he thinks that the Antara deal is a hostile takeover that's currently going down. That's what he said yesterday. That's what he says now. He said that earlier in a video we just watched. So now word on the street, according to with Lou from with love from Lou with love. There could be a hostile takeover. So what I'm hearing now is that you know, the Ankara deal was not a hostile takeover. Of course it's not, because that's not a hostile takeover. But so I'm looking forward to hearing about this new hostile takeover that might actually be a hostile takeover. MMTLP must be the greatest bag holders in the stock market history. I mean, second to Charles Ponzi's victims himself, I don't see how that's going to be disputed at this point.
The interview
And they weren't in the stock market specifically, but still.
Who is next in command? Okay.
How about people who paid for tuition at Trump University? Now, again, not stock market, but fools and their money. Fools and their money. How can it be a hostile takeover when Adam Aaron agrees to sell the shares? I mean, that was my first question, and it can't be. It literally cannot be, because Mr. Magoo there, despite all of the different glasses, apparently still cannot see or, the keyboard enough to do some basic Google searching. Yeah. He says hostile takeover because he feels like they're taking 90% of his shares. You know what? That's why, which is dumb. It's retarded.
To bail hedge funds out when they're failing. I don't want to be part of that. And so I think we need to be very judicious about what we ask for, because if we start asking for more, people are going to come asking the government for bailouts.
Oh, but there's some hedge funds that, we'll know where they'll be. They'll be here as long as the planet is here. They've gotten so large and so big. But let me ask you about this case, this MMTLP, which apparently the company was poised to offer a preferred dividend in the next bridge hydrocarbon. And about 4 days before all of this was going to start to go down, the stock was abruptly halted and delisted. Investors' money had been frozen. There have been major complaints about fraud, the way the stock was traded. Apparently, there are transcripts between FINRA and the SEC that reveal maybe even regulators were aware of all of this. So how do you explain the injustice of this case?
I think the big issue that and I've certainly heard those concerns, and I think the big issue that we need to take from this is we need to do a better job communicating about what happens when certain actions happen in the market.
What happens with this particular case? Will they release the FINRA blue sheets for MMTLP? I mean, can we get a sort of post-mortem right now? People are talking about this. People say my money is frozen, that they see this as a deliberate attempt once again to derail regular investors.
Well, again, when people are having issues like that, I do encourage you to contact the SEC.
They contacted the SEC. Hester, that's why you're in the show. Please help us out here. I mean, this is the runaround. Listen, we were promised dark pools, pay for order flow. All of these things have been thrown up as things that could be changed for the last 3 years. Are you waiting for individual investors to lose interest, to lose all of their money? They're not going to do either.
Yes and yes.
It's the waiting game. The complaints have been filed. When do we get some action on those complaints?
Well, I mean, there's one thing dealing with current issues, which, again, I urge people to write in. It sometimes does take some time to sort through these issues, but we do take those inquiries seriously. In terms of the policy issues that you raised, I think we have to level set here, and I do believe that our equity market structure works quite effectively now for retail investors. Now, are there changes that we can make? Absolutely. Should we look at what those changes are? Absolutely. But we have to do things in a deliberate manner so that we don't break things along the way and end up with a worse market structure. We actually now have no commission environment. We have the ability for people to trade very much more easily and cheaply than they ever have before, and I don't want to lose that.
Yeah, well, listen, I would rather pay a commission not to be ripped off in a different kind of way. I mean, people are hip to all of this, so, and you sound like a hedge fund brochure when you say.
And there are certainly options for people.
What a dick. So he's getting his information to give an opinion from someone asked to give an opinion. Payne must hate regulators because they fined him when he was pumping stocks. Yeah, true. and Lynn, with the, zinger. Be careful what you ask for. Yeah. No kidding. Why would you? Why? I don't know. That's bizarre. This whole thing is bizarre. Regulators should just call Payne out and say, quote, these retail investors you're talking about are seriously uneducated about markets and you are parroting these BS conspiracies. I mean, yeah, she's too professional for that, but that would be great.
To all of this. So, and you sound like a hedge fund brochure when you say.
You sound like a hedge fund brochure. What a dick. This guy is a dick.
That's not the Hester that came with it a few years ago.
And there are certainly options for people who would prefer to pay commissions. I want to make sure that we have lots of different options in our market so that people who want commissions can pay commissions. People who don't have to.
All right, Hester, I really appreciate you coming on. Thank you very much, and
thanks
hope to
for
hear from
having
you
me
again soon. Thanks. All right, folks, coming up.
Okay. Yeah, what does this have to do with hedge funds? Yeah, because hedge funds are the enemy. Of course, they're the sworn enemy. Hedge funds bad. Retail investors, the actual smart money. They're the actual smart money. We are. Right. He'd rather pay a commission because he's never paid a commission. Exactly. If you don't want payment for order flow, then don't be so damn lazy and find out how to do it. Bingo. Pretty much. Yep.
I don't know. To me, she sounded like she sounded pretty much the same as.
Did she sound like a hedge fund brochure? Because that's the see, this is the problem right here with dumbass fake news channels like Fox Business, okay? He editorialized it. He said, I think that you sound like a hedge fund brochure. You sound like you are representing hedge funds and you're their mouthpiece. That's what he implied. That is not news. I don't care what some puppet on TV thinks about the stuff that is in the news. Don't give your opinion. But he did. That influences people. That's Fox News. That's their whole fucking shtick. Okay? Tell you and demonstrate for you how you should feel, what you should think about it. Because we as a society are unable to form opinions, to make educated decisions rationally, taking in all available evidence. That's why you would watch this. Otherwise, there is absolutely zero reason to watch this. So that's first of all. This is retarded, dumb, cheaple, lowest common denominator shit right here. Okay? That's number one. Number two, he's a convicted scammer. Well, not convicted, but he signed a consent and acceptance and consent waiver and paid and had to pay a fine for securities fraud, essentially. So, makes sense. Somebody said earlier that he would, want to bring this up because, it's something that's near and dear to his heart, I guess. So now he has editorialized it. He's put his opinion out there. And now, Tony, this guy here, he's going to give us his opinion. And of course, it's not going to be influenced at all by the opinionated reporting, quote unquote, reporting that, just came before. No way. There's no way. I mean, I think he can hold his own.
Sounded like she sounded pretty much the same as what Gary Gensler has said, which is basically nothing. And she's saying that, you need to contact the SEC. Well, people have contacted the SEC. Thousands of people have contacted the SEC, okay? This has been U3 halted.
That doesn't mean that it's right. It does not mean they're right.
And the FOIA docs show that the SEC knew for over a year, right? They knew for over a year, and they were conspiring with FINRA, and they did nothing. I don't know if Hester Pierce is going to be any better than Gary Gensler, to be honest. And I think people are calling for the resignation of Hester Pierce as well too. Okay, so there you go. I think she probably needs to go if she hasn't. If her response is, you need to contact the SEC. People have contacted the SEC. We want some action. Okay, we want the SEC to take some action and undo what was done. Give us 2 days of.
Not going to happen. Undo what was done and give us 2 days to trade, because we don't understand that trades take 2 motherfucking days to settle. And if you're going to delete the shares on, Tuesday, all the shares have to be not trading. They have to be settled by Tuesday. Can you still trade the stock on Tuesday? The answer is no, you can't. Basic fucking shit, especially for supposed market fucking oracles such as these clowns. I mean, what the and FINRA told you that. They fucking told you that. Jesus Christ. But you deserve a redo because you can't read. You deserve a redo because of low you know, attention capabilities. No, you don't. You deserve to get wiped the fuck out. And quite frankly, if they don't, if the SEC, which is highly unlikely, would step in and give these guys, some kind of do-over or something, I'm gonna sue, because these clowns, we were told that when they get flushed out of the market, that's it. But now we're saying, oh, wait a minute, maybe they're not going to get flushed out, but they lost. Well, you know how things go. Well, is that
what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? Or are you saying what are you saying? Huh?
No, nobody's saying that. There are no market mulligans. There are no market mulligans. There is never a market. There is never a mulligan in the market. Never. You don't get to redo. There are no mulligans in life, really. You don't get to redo shit. Not in exactly the same context, anyway. You can do things again, but you're going to do them again having done them the first time, which is different than doing it and not knowing. So now, here's how you handle this. You write off the fucking loss. You say, you know what? I don't even care if you say they screwed us over, but it's over. And at the end of the day, maybe they screwed us over, but it was my money and I controlled what happened to it and I put it in that. So in that sense, at least, I made a mistake. No harm, no foul. Chalk it up to learning, chalk it up to experience. Better luck next time. And then you go and you use that knowledge about being a little bit more discerning about what you choose to put your money into. You use that experience to do better the next time. You go buy a different stock and do more and better research so that you don't get into a situation like this again. That's the answer here. Anything else is a mulligan, and it's not going to happen. It's not fair. How is that fair? How is it fair that if you didn't understand what was going on, oh, we'll just let you trade. We'll just add another couple days. How is that fair to people who did know what was going on? And I'm not even saying it was maybe even necessarily individual retail investors. Maybe the institutions did. And if you're saying, what are you saying? Huh? Are you saying the market should be fair? Well, if you allow one group to do something because they didn't know, well, that's not fair to other groups. I don't care if they're individuals or institutions. That's not a fair outcome. So, I'm so sick of this talk about fairness. It's fairness on their terms. It's fairness in terms of, a kindergarten understanding of the way the world works. I'm not even saying the stock market anymore. I'm saying the world. These clowns have no clue. They're children. They are they are approaching this with a very juvenile attitude. I mean, that's about as diplomatic as I can be. They're being children about this. even a higher degree than the AMC apes are. That's crazy. I mean, that's something, that is something. You don't get mulligans in life. We'd all love to have one. Well, some people would. Or even just, not a total mulligan, but you know what? Give me the last whatever, 2 years or something, No, it doesn't work like that. You don't even get 2 hours. You don't even get 2 minutes. You don't even get 2 seconds of, literally, you cannot. And maybe you can recreate a similar situation, but I can tell you, most people know it's never the same. It will never be the same. It won't work out the way you think it will, especially when you're dependent on a system, that has rules. We're in a fucking, society that purports a rule of law. This ain't in the law. It doesn't say, oh, you know what? If the trophy generation sleeps through it, you can add another day late. No, no. You slept through class and you ended up having an exam that day and you failed the class because of it. Sorry. Or, you're going to have to do some shit. Like not on your terms at all. Like you're going to have to come to summer school. Not, oh, let me just redo it tomorrow after class. No. So these people seem to never have any consequences. They expect all this shit to go in their favor. It makes no sense. Let's go back to the days before $72. I will buy a lot more $12 shares of AMC. There you go. There you go. Yep. Okay, that's one mulligan that maybe, sure. But again, that wasn't really a mistake though. You don't need a mulligan. That's being greedy, Lynn. That would just be being greedy. And just like these apes, you already you made a bogey on the hole. That's not great, but it's not the worst it could be. Does it make sense to take a mulligan so that you can try to get, a birdie so that you can end up, shooting par? I don't think so. Just move on to the next hole, you know? Um, that's a golf analogy for anybody who, yeah. Anyway, that's like Marty McFly taking the almanac back to 1985 that he got in the future and betting on all the winners and getting rich. That would, as Doc Brown put it, alter the trajectory of the space-time continuum or something like that. And that's not allowed. That's breaking some rules. It's breaking some rules. But you know what? The SEC is asleep at the wheel, so who's going to even know? Or is it the CFTC that regulates sports betting? That I yeah, I'm just kidding. But
Trading
anyway,
back.
no, you can't do that.
Force the shorts to close their positions, right? We don't want a short position in a private company, right? There should not ever be a short position in a private company, right? Shorts should have to close their positions. Okay.
Guess what? They would have to. Like that'll be most likely it'll be cash settled. Like why in the world do you think? I just don't I
See this tweet by John Berta. He says,
John Berta.
Oh, let me talk about this. We see this tweet by John Berta where he's referencing copy paste saying, absolutely nobody is going to arbitration for $2.90 when we're owed shares of Nextbridge hydrocarbons that are valued significantly higher. And John Berta says, not to mention the potential for collusion between FINRA and market participant who got a tip in the last 2 days of trading that there would be a halt. Seems like someone knew for sure. Did FINRA tip off the shorts that, we're going to U3 halt this. Don't worry, it's going to be okay. You'll never have to close your position. Did they do that?
Honestly, we don't know. I don't know. But he says that they got a tip. I mean, this guy seems to be a complete and total piece of garbage. I mean, imagine pretending to be a CEO and putting this shit out on Twitter. That's ridiculous. I mean, talk about Adam Aaron. This guy, I mean, and I realize he's not the CEO anymore, but he does not seem to be like CEO material to me.
Could be. FOIA documents are suggesting that for sure.
That is very, very unflattering.
But the question is, where is this $2.90 arbitration thing coming from? It could be coming from this guy James Angel. Okay, and James Angel has been saying he's been informed by. Or actually, Liz says that she was informed by her congressman's office that this particular professor, James Angel,
but they don't like him.
To many congressional staffers.
So they wanted Congress to investigate it, and they got all excited because Congress was going to investigate it. And then the guy that they called in as the expert, the finance professor, they don't like him because, well, why? Let's find out, but they don't like him. Imagine that. And I'll give you 3 guesses as to why they don't like him. And yeah.
It was organized by one of the leading congressmen in the MMTLP saga. And it's said to believe that this professor is also a fellow shareholder. I don't know that he's a shareholder or not. He certainly wasn't talking like a shareholder. And he seems to have been promoting the idea of arbitration. Why do I say this? Because as we see on this tweet from James J. Angel himself, he says, it's not FINRA's fault. They had no choice. My prime suspect is that the management who engineered a security designed not to be traded. In order for security to be tradable, it has to be registered at the DTCC. Ask management why it hasn't done so. I'm sorry, James, but it seems as though you're not at all familiar with what's going on with MMTLP. You're just speaking out off the top of your head, and you really don't understand the situation. And, you know, if you don't understand the situation, it's better sometimes not to speak and just be proven a complete imbecile.
Oh, I love this.
Okay, so John Berta.
I love that statement right there. Listen to that.
You know, if you don't understand the situation, it's better sometimes not to speak and just be proven a complete imbecile in the matter.
That is fucking great. I might have to clip that out right there. I may have to do that.
Okay, so John Berta has some questions for this guy James Angel. It's better sometimes not to speak and, you know, and the situation. And, you know, if you don't understand the situation, it's better sometimes not to speak and just be proven a complete imbecile in the matter. Okay, so John Berta.
Yeah, I'm clipping that. Yeah, I'm just going to do it right here. Fuck it. We're going to do it live. Fuck it. We'll do it live. All right. And it'll be a good time. So let's do this. Just like fucking Home Depot in here. Let's do this. Okay. Okay, here's Audacity. Okay, now I think I can do this. I think I can literally do it live without even having to download the video or the audio from the video. So change the input to the output. Okay, it was already on that, so it might work already. Let's see. Will it work?
Has some questions for the James John with MMTLP. You're just speaking out off the top of your head, and you really don't understand the situation. And, you know, if you don't understand the situation, it's better sometimes not to speak and just be proven a complete imbecile in the matter. Okay, so John Berta has some questions for the.
All right. I think we got the section there. Okay. It starts right here.
And
I think it starts right there with that and. Got to get the breath in there too.
And, you if you don't understand the situation, it's better sometimes not to speak and just be proven a complete imbecile in the matter. Okay, so John Berta has...
And we'll get with the so in there. There we go. Oh my God. Okay. Okay. There it is. There it is. All right. See, that was actually easier than I thought it was going to be. Let me add it to the soundboard here. And better not to speak. Love it. All right. Better not to speak. Coming up. So we're about out of time here, unfortunately, but here it is.
And if you don't understand the situation, it's better sometimes not to speak and just be proven a complete imbecile in the matter. Okay, so...
Let's see. Model 3 dude watched some of that Casey Shaw show this morning, and wow, what a nut. Yeah. Oh yeah, 5 minutes is about all I can. I don't know how Bad Back does it, to be honest with you. He said, not speaking proves you to be an imbecile, which is the exact opposite of the point of that saying. Right. Because, yeah, I don't even...
This guy, James Angel, who apparently is not familiar with the situation, he says they had no choice. Well, didn't James Angel understand that the company was going to be a private company, that it was being spun out into a private company, which is not meant to be traded, and that there were short positions in a private company? Did he not understand about the concept of short positions in a private company, right? Anyway, John Berta has this to say to James Angel. He says, did you speak to Congress? Did you disclose your relationship with market makers, including Ari, Ari's firm? We know that Ari Rubenstein is an advisor to FINRA. And does James Angel have a relationship with Ari Rubenstein's firm, GTS? Are there any other market participants? What was your solution that you pitched that needed to be done? What were you actually pitching that needed to be done, James? Have you changed your tune at all now that you've seen the blue sheets? Have you seen the blue sheets? I don't think you've ever seen the blue sheets. Why would you blame management for not wanting a dividend to trade when all of the shareholders were notified of that request and they were voted in favor of it? It was well known for 6 months that this company was going private. 6 freaking months, James. Okay, apparently you weren't aware of it. Why do you think MMTLP...
Well, I mean, I can't help but, bring up the fact that John Berta traded MMTLP. Why did he trade it if it wasn't supposed to be traded? Because everybody else is doing it? That makes it okay? Now you come back retroactively and say, well, wait a minute. We did our retroactive DD. Actually, it wasn't supposed to be trading. Oops. Now we have to have a do-over. What kind of fucking fool? Wow. Okay.
Started to trade in the very first place over a year ago. It wasn't started. It didn't start to trade by the issuers of the shares. It started to trade by short hedge funds.
Buttons.
Okay? Market makers.
Chilo
traded it against the will of the company. Okay, were these shorts just carried over, or were they just pure coincidence? It seems, James Angel, you don't know much. You don't know a lot of crap. You have no clue, and you're just talking off the top of your head. You really should either apologize and say that you have no clue, and say that you're a complete moron in the matter, or at least say that you're ignorant of the matter, because you probably are. And you're proposing some sort of...
I hate this guy. This guy is such a narcissistic fuck. He's a little fuck stick. You can tell he's short too. Look at this short little fuck stick. My God. I mean, and they have the ability to project. I think masterfully. I think if they are, the best at anything, it is projecting. their inadequacies, their ignorance onto everyone else. I mean, and that right there, I think that's really, oh, it's terrible. It is absolutely dreadful. It's a good idea to buy when the CEO buys and sell when they sell. Yep. And didn't he sell like the day before it stopped trading? 2 days before, something like that? I know you guys were talking about it once. Okay, Lynn, we'll catch you later. Thanks for being here.
Even in the first place. I don't know. Anyway. So the question that I have, though, is does Congress actually have the blue sheets? I do not know if Congress has the blue sheets because John Berta has this tweet. He says, hey, any news on who has blue sheets? If they do, can we get them to Pete Sessions? Pete Sessions is one of the congressmen there. Can we get them to Pete Sessions' office so we can determine what they say? Okay. So Meta News is saying, well, the information comes directly from Warren Davidson's office. Warren Davidson is another congressman. The committee is tomorrow at such and such a time. Okay.
That's hilarious. So
we don't
even see, like, doesn't that give a bit of a clue as to how dysfunctional Congress is? Like, it's hilarious.
I know if Congress actually has it. Maybe, I believe Warren Davidson had requested the blue sheets, but I do not know if they have yet been delivered. So I believe the request was sent out, but has the blue sheets actually appeared before Congress yet? Certainly the blue sheets exist because they were talking about this, months and months ago between FINRA and the SEC. In the FOIA emails that were released, we know the blue sheets exist. So where are they? Where are they? I don't think Congress has them yet because if John Berta is asking for them for Pete Sessions, then obviously
maybe he is part of the investigation, and that's why he will never have access to that type of information. I mean, I love the balls on this guy, John Berta. What a fucking clown. Like, he wasn't part of the manipulation. It's ridiculous.
Pete doesn't have them yet. Who knows? I don't know.
Allying himself with Congress. That is so fucking dumb. Wow, what a soap opera.
Warren Davidson's office, and maybe it got to Pete Sessions' office after that. But it sounds like as of 9 hours ago, when this tweet came out, that that was not the case. Anyway, let's see what else is going on. We've been seeing a lot of tweets from this Mark R. Basil Esquire. That's what the ESQ means. Esquire basically means the guy's a lawyer.
Thanks, Tony. Means Esquire. Okay.
And he's in this Basil law firm. And he says that we've opened a data room portal to allow you to provide your brokerage data to assist in determining the nature and extent of any potential FINRA arbitrations you may have.
Wow.
And so he starts talking about arbitrations, right? And he starts talking about this collective community. He wants to get information, right? And he wants to get information from you, the shareholders, to find out, do you want to settle for something via collective arbitration? Personally, I have no interest in collective arbitration. Why? Because we already know that FINRA has been corrupt in dealing with collective arbitration. It's usually a mandatory forced collective arbitration, and FINRA goes around, picks the particular people to arbitrate, the ones that are favorable to FINRA. I'd rather not have any forced collective arbitration. Thank you, Mark R. Basil, but I'm not really into this idea of collective arbitration. All shorts have to close their positions in 2 days of trading. That's what I want, right?
Makes no sense.
Would I be interested in collective arbitration? Collective arbitration has to do with, later on he talks about, he says, it's not what you could have made, it's the value.
How do you know that they didn't?
On a certain date, if you were locked out of trading, that's what the security was trading at. Future accretion does not count. And that is where we see this, what is it? That is where we see this tweet from Copy Paste go about the $2.90. That's where all of that came from, I believe. So, to that end, he's talking about, this Mark R. Basil.
It's not what you could have made. It's the value of what you lost. So on a certain date, if you were locked out of trading, What was the security trading at? Future accretion doesn't count. So his whole thing is they just want to get people's money back based on what the stock was trading at, guess when they were locked out of trading. So they don't want necessarily more trading, which, you know, that's at least somewhat more realistic, I feel like, but you're not going to get 2 additional days of fucking trading. That will never happen. That's about as likely as the judge in Delaware saying that the ape votes don't count. I will go on record saying that. Those are 2 unlikely, improbable, highly impractical, and basically impossible actions that will never happen. Never happen.
It says it's not about what you could have made, it's the value of what you lost. Well, what did a lot of people lose? Well, I think that a lot of people lost time, money, families.
You don't get compensated.
Marriages were broken up. What's the value of that, Mark or Basil? You know, so
you can't attribute that to this.
At least one person committed suicide that I know about. Okay, these are shareholders.
Wow.
What is a life worth, Mark or Basil? Okay.
Nobody told them that they had to react that way. I mean, that goes beyond the scope of what that goes beyond the normal influence in someone's life that financial investments and the stock market should have. Like, there's other issues there. There are other forces at work for that to happen, because normally functioning people in society don't kill themselves if they lose money on a stock. Now, if you've never been able to accept a loss, like these people are apparently unable to do, well, again, that's pathological. That's not normal. It's not right. And sure, it could lead to catastrophic outcomes, but that's nobody's fault, like, except the person and their situation. That is not a stock market problem. I mean, I don't know how else to say that and not sound like an asshole, but that's not the market's problem. It's not. It's just not. I mean,
you know, you don't want you know, what about pain and suffering? Because there was a lot of pain
subjective
that went on, you know.
Subjective, and you can't you can't attribute it to that. You got a lot of correlation, but you're never gonna be able to prove causation or actual reality on that. You know, did you actually go to a mental health counselor, and was it documented? You know, or no, you're just saying, yeah, I felt like shit then. Okay, so you deserve to get paid. No, it doesn't work like that, Tone. Come on,
frankly, dude. It looks like Mark R. Basil just wants to get you know, his 30% cut for being involved in helping you with collective arbitration.
Guess what? Welcome to the world. Welcome to capitalism. Nobody wants to help you. Not even, what's his name? The guy, Tuttle. You don't think he's looking for something? Give me a break.
At $2.90 a share, I have no interest in that. But you know, if you want to,
hey, at least that's something. It's better than what you're going to end up with if you have this fucking shitty of an attitude.
And
wow.
And what I've lost. Well, let's see. I've lost a lot of time. Let's just think about the time.
Nobody told you that you had to spend time on this. How have you lost time? You decided to do what you're doing. That's your decision. You didn't have to choose that. You could have done other things, like get a fucking job, work, you know, do anything. Play with your cat, play with yourself. You know, I don't know, but nobody said that you had to make garbage videos about this shit and show the world by not being silent how much of an imbecile you are. Is that what, wait, is that, let me, hold on, I got it now.
And, you know, if you don't understand the situation, it's better sometimes not to speak and just be proven a complete imbecile in the matter. Okay, so.
Okay, so, yeah.
People have lost, okay? Every single shareholder has lost time. How much is time worth? How much is time worth? Well, Johnny Depp's lawyers think, Johnny Depp's accountants, not his lawyers, his accountants, charge $700 an hour. $700 an hour, right? So,
you're not Johnny Depp. So I don't know why that's relevant. You're not anybody. You are nobody. You probably did your taxes yourself. So, God damn it. I hate this guy. I fucking hate this guy. He's such a fucking imbecile.
My time,
wow.
I'm not Johnny Depp's accountant.
Oh, good.
$200 an hour.
Are you an accountant at all?
So $200 an hour for 125 days plus, because we've been doing this for 125 days. I've been going through nonstop thinking about MMTLP for at least 8 hours a day.
That's because you are a fucking wreck.
That works out to about $200,000.
You're a fool.
Of just time. Okay, just time. And that's for every single shareholder. That's the minimum just for the U3 halt. Now, that's the time that I spent. Now, so that should be for the very first share. So let's say I have a lot more than one shares, but that should be for one share. Say $200,000 per share. How's that for time? Okay. Now, FOIA suggests that the U3 halt was planned. The total number of shorts that were, and because the U3 halt was planned, the shorts did not have to close their positions. And, the FOIA suggests that the shorts may have even been told that they wouldn't have to close their positions. So rather than get the $2.90,
no, it
which
doesn't.
you want to collectively
talking about. But I agree with you, Chuck. Most of these people never heard about the stock market until 2021. And even if they had heard about it, they didn't have any money to put into it. But that all changed in 2021. But, how many times do we have to remind people? How many times do we have to say, we all know it. It's not 2021 anymore. It's not 2021. That environment is no longer. And it's probably not coming back anytime soon, hopefully. Imagine, that was laying the groundwork for the bullshit that we've already experienced and will still experience. Massive scam really is an understatement.
I would like
in my book.
See, if it's a choice between $2.90, then I would rather just see, I'd say keep the $2.90. I would rather see FINRA exposed for the criminal collusion that they did. I want to see every single top FINRA executive exposed, fired, and never have a position in finance due to fraud. Okay? If you're offering me $2.90, I would rather, instead of that, I offer you this. Every single FINRA top executive has to quit their freaking job and not quit their freaking job. They need to be fired for fraud, criminal fraud. They need to be exposed, and they need to never be able to hold a position in finance for the rest of their freaking life. How's that? Okay? That's but I don't want collective arbitration. Okay? Instead, there's 3 other lawsuits.
What good would that do? Because again, it's not people making the decision. It's a rule of law. Okay? There are rules, laws, statutes, guidelines, federal rules, regulations, okay, that govern what happens. Now, they think the apes, this clown, I don't know if he's an ape or what, whatever the fuck, these fucking retards, they think that everything is a buddy, and I'm not saying that it isn't, by the way, but we have the appearance of a rule of law system. Okay, we have rules that govern things, laws, regulations, all these policies. Okay, that's generally how things work. It's not necessarily how they always work. Okay, I'm not saying that, but it is abnormal. It is an abnormal condition when that is the case. And if it is to be proven in any type of evidence-based way, then there would have to be evidence to support it, to support the claim that they're making, that they didn't follow the rules. FINRA went around the rules. They were on the take. Whatever he's saying, they colluded with hedge funds in an illegal way so that they wouldn't have to close their positions, which, by the way, if short positions don't close, you don't access the profit that is waiting for you. So I don't know why that would be preferable, especially because the price went down a lot on the last day. So whatever. None of this shit makes any sense. I mean, just like what part of it? Just take any part of it, and it's literally you examine it under not even a spotlight, a regular lamp light. You look at it with a small flashlight, and it just debunks itself if you know anything about the way this works. If you know any, like, I just don't. Wow, this guy.
Lawsuit that's in Florida, of course. She's directly suing FINRA. The Richard Hoffman lawsuit that's in California. I'm not sure where the Alan Hensley lawsuit is. It's in the it's on the Pacific Coast, I believe, and that's of course to FINRA and brokers. The FOIA documents clearly show that FINRA and the SEC knew what was happening with MMTLP even up to a year ago.
I don't think that that's true. I don't think that they clearly show anything other than the fact that they, they're like, oh shit, we need to halt this, and looks like there might be fraud too, at the issuer level. Which, no, Tony, issuers are not market makers. Issuers are not hedge funds. Issuers are companies that issue shares. This is the clown who thought issuers meant market makers and hedge funds. So, again, I'm going to throw your own words right back at you.
And, if you don't understand the situation, it's better sometimes not to speak and just be proven a complete imbecile in the matter. Okay,
So, yeah, he didn't take his own advice. He didn't close his mouth, and he has been shown over and over to be nothing but a clown, muppet, grifter. I think he is of the ignorant grifter variety. So it could go either way, but I don't think he is intentionally trying to scam anyone. I just think he is highly uninformed. Or that is a ruse, and he's pretending to be an idiot, which I don't know why anybody would do that. So if anybody would, though, these guys would.
Blue sheets were provided to FINRA, and the blue sheets need to become public documents in the disclosure, okay?
Well, if there's fraud and supposedly a RICO case, they're not going to give you anything about it. That's the way evidence works. They don't have to show it to you. You're not entitled to it. You're not going to see it, at least until the whole affair is over with. So get used to that.
These cases have to go to court. We need to see disclosure, and we need to see the blue sheets be exposed so that we can all see the blue sheets, right? The blue sheets need to come out, and the blue sheets will show.
I wish they would stop saying blue sheets. They don't even know what the fuck they're talking about at all.
Helping the shorts. That's what I think. Okay. So as you can tell, I'm really pissed off about the idea of collective arbitration. So screw that. So,
yeah, you're a greedy fuck.
May happen.
Screw that.
That there were 165 million shares that were issued. If this thing finally resolves in some way that results in shares being reconciled, that means that would have to close their positions, right? So there were 165 million shares that were issued. 480 million shares were circulating, I believe, and that's my estimate of the long position based upon Russ Race's survey data.
Oh, based on a survey. Okay, cool. So here we are with AMC, MMLTP, MMTLP, and whatever. It's all the same. Based on a fucking survey. Let's extrapolate from a survey and claim that it's reality.
Again, not a financial advisor, not financial advice. None of this is, of course. That means that there are 315 million short shares that need to be reconciled. 315 million. That means in order to reconcile those short shares, shorts have to close their positions, and to close their positions, they need to buy to close. The reason they need to buy.
Why would any
the shorts already sold their shares and diluted the market? These are shares that they do not own. And in order for the shorts to buy these shares, they have to entice longs to sell their shares, right? And that's called lifting the ask until someone sells. How does this work? So I'm going to show you a quote from a stock. This just happens to be GTI.
GTI, yeah, I'm going to show you how this works. I'm going to show you another great stock Boy, what a clown. Oh my God.
Okay, there's a bid and an ask. The bid has a size and the ask has a size. There's a dollar price and a size. The size in this case is 0 because
I'm just curious to see whether this is going to be correct or if it's going to be more wishful thinking and lack of understanding.
I got this quote after hours, so there's no trading after hours, so the size is 0. In either case, I've highlighted the bid and the ask. Now, the bids are people who are essentially people who have placed a good till canceled buy orders. Okay, that means that they've supplied dollars. They want to buy shares. They're willing to buy at a particular bid or better. Okay, so if the price drops below the bid, then then this particular trade gets activated, and they get to buy their shares, right? So the bid represents dollars that have already been deposited and they're ready to buy. They're all set to buy at that price or better. They don't have shares. They're hoping that the price drops below this point, but they have dollars. They've put up the dollars in the account. So these are dollars that are ready and willing to buy at that price or better. What's an ask? An ask is people who have shares, right? And they're willing to sell their shares. And so they supply shares because they want dollars, right? And they're willing to sell at the ask price or better. Okay. So if the price is greater than the ask price, then the trade gets activated and it moves forward. So the ask represents shares that have been deposited and they're ready to be sold. These are people who have shares already. They're all set to go. Okay. So if you want to buy something and you want your trade to execute immediately, you perform what's called a market order. And a market order directly hits the ask price. It directly hits this ask area here.
Wow, was he listening to
That's what
us?
A market order does. Now, in the case of position close only, you're not going to have very many sellers. You're just going to have people who want to buy, and these are the shorts. So you'll have lots of people buying and people who have to be enticed to sell, right? Because the shareholders cannot be forced to sell. They should be enticed to sell by raising the price. So we could see a very large differential between bid and ask. So expect to see the price difference between bid and ask to be very, very wide. And it will go.
Well, he's talking about it as if it's going to happen. That's cute.
Hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars. I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
I expect the bid to be a minimum.
You'll never know.
All that matters is the ask, right? Because, you say, okay, I have enough dollars, give me some shares. That's what you're saying. You have dollars, give them the shares. So all that's going to matter is the ask at that point. And so with that, I'd like to say that, the question that we have that's coming up is, because Gary Gensler is going to appear before Congress tomorrow. So will Congress show
was this today?
Are they going to tolerate open corruption and stock manipulation by short hedge funds and market makers?
Yes.
Is that what they want to show? Or
yes.
Are they going to force the SEC, FINRA, and brokers to reconcile this short position in a private company by forcing...
I don't even think... Does Congress even have that authority? I don't know.
In order to reconcile the short shares, okay? If they do that, then they will have shown.
Imagine thinking that Congress
that they
is
are
the
willing
answer.
to correct
Seriously.
The
honestly, imagine thinking that the courts are the answer. In my opinion, but imagine thinking that Congress is the answer. Oh my God, you got to be fucking delusional. Well, yeah. AMC dump pump trading with emotions. Oh, it's only 4 minutes. All right, now we can handle this.
Guys,
Maybe.
It's going down. It's going down, bro. All right. This is good. This is good stuff. Okay, this is crypto. Finally getting that flush that we talked about. Ethereum is doing the same thing. Okay,
that's
here's our
good.
little projection. Starting to come down. What does this mean for AMC? Well, liquidity transfer, right? We had it with Ethereum Classic. Is
liquidity transfer on AMC. Crypto's involved. Sounds like crime to me, but apparently it's not. I don't know. Oh man, liquidity transfer. Look at that liquidity transfer happening right there. Oh boy, what the fuck are they talking about? Liquidity transfer. I see two correlated assets here, by and large. I see two reasonably correlated securities, if you want to call it that. Not really sure why he's excited about this. I guess we're going to have to listen, but it looks like they kind of moved in the same direction here. Why? Anyway, all right, fine.
One of the cryptos that we tracked for a couple of the POIs, and those were very accurate. Now, Ethereum Classic right now is stagnant with the crypto.
Ethereum Classic. Bad back. When was the last time you traded Ethereum Classic?
Market. So depending on what the crypto market ends up doing in the end, that's going to affect, well, Ethereum Classic's price, right, in the end. So right now, it's
brilliant.
The entire crypto market is transferring over this liquidity over to stocks, in my opinion. I think the top is almost in. I think in a matter of...
How's that? How's that again? They're transferring it into stocks. Okay. That's his opinion. It's like your opinion, man. Okay. Oh, so that's why the market went. They bought the market back, and they sold crypto off. But then, I mean, it's not really that insanely different of a contour of the price line. It's fairly homogeneous. I mean, okay, right.
3 or 4 days, we should start to see the market turn around and come down. So this is good for AMC, but AMC has to start climbing up like yesterday, right? We need to start climbing soon. We did have a nice candle today, so I'm expecting maybe some kind of news or catalyst to come
What do
out.
they think actually causes these things to happen? I don't think they know or care. It's just like magically it's going to go up. AMC just needs to start going up. Well, no shit, bro.
And shoot the price up here to a comfortable range. So the video I posted yesterday talking about the quad witching date, okay, that is sometime in June, I believe June 18th or 16th. It's quad witching, so there's some time for that, but the POI here could bring us up to a comfortable level. Like I talked about, guys, the 10 or $8 range would be more of a conservative price if this is a bullish move for AMC. So that would be right about, so $8 would be about 60%, and then 100% would be around 10. And these all come out and also hit levels of resistance. So on the wedge we have going on here, it does hit that $10 level. Now, an extreme case here for AMC is a parallel channel, and that would be right around that 12, right? So this one, in my opinion, would probably take a little bit longer to play out going into the next point of interest. But on this one, if we have volume coming in, if the SPY is about to peak, the crypto markets are coming down, if it's going to do it, I think anywhere between that $8 or $10 range would be ideal if it's a positive POI. Otherwise,
you're talking about
things come down, cycle again for a little bit, and we
little
wait
doubling of the stock
for that opportunity.
Okay.
Yeah, doing it on cycle analysis. Okay, so right now, so far, things are looking good as far as the projection goes for crypto. And this is, like I said, looking at other cycles in the market is very important to narrow down these points of interest on AMC. So the fact that liquidity is coming down
point of interest, that sounds very subjective.
The overall market,
this whole thing is
track one-on-one. When these, they'll do it on the low key, and that's exactly what's happening right now. AMC is up, and these crypto altcoins are down. Okay, so be prepared, man. The next couple of days might be
crypto altcoins
for AMC.
I hate to tell you this, but they don't really matter. They don't really matter that much. Okay. Big data, short squeeze. Collateral crisis could worsen. I didn't know we had a collateral crisis. Let's see. AMC squeeze. Adam Aaron colluded with Antara Capital. Okay. Did he say psychoanalysis? No, he said cycle analysis. Cycle analysis, which basically means garbage. It's like 2 or 3 steps like more primitive than equity clocks seasonality charts, which I think are cool. But what he's doing is like a primitive version of this, except only with 2 years of data that are highly skewed years of frivolous extraneous trading brought about by the pandemic response, stimulus, and Fed QE programs. So, you know, maybe well, no, he didn't know shit. He didn't know shit in 2021. So I'm not even going to say that. I'm not even going to say maybe he would have had a better time in 2021 because it wasn't like that previously. So no, he wouldn't have known. But now, because it happened, he thinks that he knows, but he has no clue. I mean, that's a fucking mess, man. It is such a fucking mess. This is ridiculous at this point. Okay. And we all
There's
know
a reason
this.
why the clickbaiters get the most views, because they tell you what you want to hear. There's a reason why I am the most hated YouTuber covering AMC, because I'm going to tell you the truth.
Bullshit. Bullshit. Wow. He's grifting even now. The most hated. Tony, you have 20,000 subscribers. I don't even have 2,000 subscribers yet. How are you the most hated? No, in order to be the most hated, you'd actually have to be telling the truth. And is he still telling the truth? I don't know. Or I mean, has he flipped to telling the truth? Or is he still not telling the truth? I don't know. We try to find out, but and one of us at least gets pissed, and then
There are literally legions of clickbaiters and conspiracy theorists that will tell you exactly what you want to hear and have.
But it looks like he dyed his hair, though.
For the last couple years,
something.
Coming up with new theories every week, like the
that would be Scott fucking Allen. Yes,
Antara is doing a hostile takeover of retail or of AMC. Antara's trying to make a profit, guys, and they're going to sell their position, and they're going to probably make a healthy profit. But enough about the clickbaiters. I'm here to talk about Tony DeNaro, because again, these guys lie to you every single day and tell you, I'm paid by Adam Aron, I'm paid by AMC, I'm paid by hedge funds. Total bullshit. I look at the financial statements, and the roadmap of what is going to happen based on choice A or choice B is very clear to me, and I'm
well, that's that would be a change. That would mark a change from before. But
going to keep on telling you exactly what is going to happen, whether you want to hear it or not, whether you choose to listen or not. That is up to you. Trust no CEO. Don't trust Adam Aron. Don't trust Ryan Cohen. Don't trust Roger James Hamilton. Don't trust Jeremy Frommer. The list goes on and on. But understand their mission. If you can understand their mission, their actions make logical sense. And it's not always going to be in the favor of retail. And so, if you can understand that mission, then you have a choice to stay in a play or not stay in a play. And it's not for me to tell you what to do. I don't give buy, sell, or hold instructions. We're going to talk about the CEO Handbook chapters 1 and 2 in just a second, but let's finish up this thought process about what is a CEO's mission. And I've shared this with many, many of you. And if this is your first time here, welcome. If you're just coming back because you're tired of the clickbait, welcome back. CEO's mission. Number 1, if they are a profitable company, continue to increase profits. That is how you build and expand your business. But a lot of you like to buy companies that are in category number 2, companies that are losing money. What is the mission of a CEO who is running a company that is losing money? Well, it is also to increase profits. But until they are profitable, their primary goal is to improve the balance sheet. What does that mean? That means that until they are profitable, they need enough cash to survive. And they are going to do everything in their power to do that.
We've been saying this for months.
They're going to
if
do
not
everything in their
years.
power to make sure they have enough cash. That means taking on debt. That means doing equity raises, also known as dilution. That means creating convertible debt, convertible shares, literally whatever they need to do. And a lot of times they are not going to ask you. And most of the time you are not going to like it. That is why it is absolutely critical and why I focus so much on helping you understand the financial statements and the financial conditions of these money-losing companies. It is very obvious to most people if you are day trading or momentum trading or jumping in and out of a short squeeze play, the financials don't matter. And I don't care about the financials for any of those categories. But if you are stuck in a play or you're thinking about holding something for a long time because you just believe in the CEO, you better spend a hot minute getting to understand those financial statements or listen to someone who's willing to explain to you what they are telling you. What is the story with this company? What is coming down the road? But to wrap up the topic of CEOs, don't trust them. Don't put them on a pedestal. Don't bother to decode tweets. Everything that you want to know is in the company communications, the filings, and the financial statements. And that is what I base my channel on. Understand the mission of a CEO, depending on which category he's in, a profitable company or a money-losing company. Understand that mission, and all of their decisions make logical sense. And you can separate from this emotional clickbait nonsense, this loop that you are stuck in. That is going to be the demise of your portfolio if you don't break away from these people. If you are invested in a company which is losing money every quarter and running lower and lower on cash, the CEO's mission is most likely not going to be in alignment with your desires. The choices that they make to save the company and prevent everybody from getting wiped out in a bankruptcy and all shareholders going to zero, the choices that they make might not be in alignment with what you wish for. I know that's hard for some people to hear. Believe me, I get it, but I'm always going to keep it 100% real for you. I do want to talk about the CEO handbook, but this video is getting a little bit long. So
yeah, it is. Okay, read. Okay. Well, let's end where we started, shall we? With radio silence. No, with Twitter space. But this is supposedly this, but I don't hear anybody. Why don't I hear anybody?
Guys, I don't listen to anything. I don't know if you guys can hear me or anything. I think the space might be rugging, but if you guys can listen to me, can you just give me a thumbs up? Because I don't hear anyone.
Yeah, I see thumbs up there. So nobody's got anything to say. Isn't that fitting? Isn't that fitting? Wow. This is fantastic.
I don't know if Marduk is returning, but just let him know that
you're the host now, buddy.
I appreciate him and
you're the host now.
I'm deeply touched by his story, and I'm there for him. I'm definitely there for him.
Well, anyway, brings me about to the end of what I wanted to cover. So,
Marduk is such a nice person. It's just like 2 days that I heard about him, and hearing his story, it's man, I if you guys can let him know, I appreciate him. Thank you so much for sharing your story.
Who cares about your fucking story?
Within my community,
I mean, seriously. I'm sorry,
you need, you can
but if there's one thing that I could not give a fuck about,
but yeah, man, I'm there for you.
It is your fucking story.
I'm there for you in Twitter, outside of Twitter,
and by you, I mean everybody. I don't care about people's fucking stories.
It's 5 a.m. right now in Austria.
Not in this. Not in the market.
And I have just
not in anything where I'm trying to be objective.
About MMTLP,
fuck no.
About you guys.
I don't care about your fucking story.
I'm there for all of the communities, and
especially if it's shitty. Especially if it's supposed to be sad and give
not as a Twitter user,
render sympathy. I don't want to fucking know. I don't care. And it makes me sound like an asshole. But that's why
I support you.
These people are fucking bag holders. It's an aggregate thing.
Did the space
part of it.
Yeah, a little bit.
I dropped, I guess. I don't know where it cut
You'll
off.
probably get a good story.
I froze and got glitched out.
I did too. Oh, honey.
When?
You guys got frozen out.
No, Wen's not here. He hasn't been here for a while.
No. Never mind.
No.
I don't know where it cut off.
I've literally never been so pissed at Twitter, man. You keep going, man. Just pick up wherever.
Why are you pissed at Twitter? What did Twitter do to you?
Oh man, Drew, you haven't been here. Marduk's been
No, I was doing magic with the kid.
Marduk's been opening up and telling us about his parents and about his family, and I think it's good, man. I think it's good to get it out, Marduk. I think you should continue. I think it has nothing to do with stocks.
All right. Well, I don't know where it cut off, but pretty much I left culinary because I was so sick and tired of cooking for work at that point.
Here you go.
Like what, 14 years in, and I'm like,
here's your bedtime story, Model 3 dude.
Like, I love cooking, but am I really just going to be a cook for the rest of my life?
Welcome to the dilemma of fucking life, buddy.
I don't want to be a chef or a manager.
What do you want?
I wasn't eating.
You know,
I was spending so many hours working that when I got home,
welcome to being an adult.
Myself, I wasn't eating. I was literally like slapping peanut butter on bread.
You should have gone to a counselor.
And
that
like,
doesn't sound normal.
You know, smoking a joint and going to bed. Like, it was ridiculous. I would eat at work. I would crush meals
Like,
over
who cares?
a fucking garbage can because I didn't have time to, like, you know, yeah, sure, there were days
I hope you're enjoying this Model 3 dude, because
but like they would always have me working just like the most ridiculous shifts, splits.
You're such a victim
because it's like,
can't believe that they would make you work.
I have to come in for 9, work till 11:30. You give me like a 20-minute break before the lunch rush, and then I get another like a half an hour. I get an hour break every 5 hours. So I would take my half an hour before lunch, and then I would have another half an hour between lunch and dinner.
What is this guy, like fucking 16 years old?
Fucking exhausting. People,
what the hell?
You gotta remember, people who work.
Oh, it's exhausting.
Have like
it's fucking exhausting. He was exhausted because he had to cook.
I know people do overnights.
And,
I know.
You know,
you have to understand
work and stuff.
The times of the year where people are like, oh my god, like. You're behind all the time. You never, it never feels like you can catch up. And honestly, that was one of the reasons that I ended up switching professions too. I'm like, I need a day-to-day schedule where I can have my nights off. I'm tired of working doubles. I'm tired of working mornings one day, nights the next.
Yeah, it's because you probably have no skills.
The last place I worked at,
or you have non-marketable skills.
Kitchen manager, Casey, somebody called in sick 23 days in a row. At least someone. It was getting absurd. And I'm just like, I couldn't do it anymore. Couldn't. I needed my weekends off. I needed to get back to like a regular life.
Your weekends off.
Glad I jumped ship and did, because honestly, this was 2 years before the pandemic. Had I just run right into the pandemic, I probably would have like went off a cliff. So it was good that I made this.
I'm going to keep my mouth shut on that one.
It allowed me to get back into the flow of cooking for myself again. I started to get back into nutrition.
Who is this anyway talking?
And honestly, I really feel like God will put you through a lot, but you will get those signals within yourself that you need to do something or it's not looking good. And, you know, I listened to my heart. I listened to my, you know, I spoke a lot with my brother about it because it was killing me inside. And
this is pathetic.
He works for himself. You know, that was another thing too, is like what my brother's been through. Like I was saying that my dad had to go through. He took the brunt of everything in our life. And I have so much respect for him that he does. By the way, Drew, my brother, is also a music producer and works in the studio. He works for himself.
I'm sure he has many hits job. Like Phil For Real.
You have to be constantly going out to shows. Well, I don't know how it is these days, but going out to shows, spending money and time.
Guess what? Being a
Getting to know
musician,
people,
being in the music
networking,
business,
like
entertainment business,
it's
any
not
type of
easy,
performing
and
art,
to spend the
way
hours
harder,
sitting at your desk,
way more
editing and
difficult
mixing
than
and
cooking.
all that shit. It's insane. So anybody who does that, Anthony, I don't know if you're still in here, but I have so much respect for producers that like really take pride in their craft and spend countless hours killing themselves at the computer. So but yeah, like I just looked for anything and everything in my life for inspiration to lift me up. And it's really my friends and family who lift me up. So as much as I've been a pillar for you guys, you have to understand you all have been holding me up.
Oh my God.
Because
this is what I mean. This is not, this has
without you
nothing to
guys.
do with the stock market. Thank you for bringing in
absolutely would have fallen apart.
Personal emotional baggage
thank you
into the investing room.
Yes, you. I don't even care if we've never spoken before.
Because
You
this has
matter to me.
now this
because
places
you are part of the community that has been fighting this fight.
improper burdens on
I
people.
just want to have a normal life. I
don't want to know about you wanting to have a normal life.
Bullshit. Okay? Like nobody can ever catch up in life. It seems like where do all these people get all this money? Like I see all these houses going up around me, and people are filling them. How do
that doesn't mean that they have a lot of money necessarily.
I literally don't. Like I've literally been paycheck to paycheck my whole life, it feels. And I'm
because you worked low end job because you said you were cooking
this year.
I mean,
it's insane. I don't get it, but
no offense, but unless you're like working at a high end restaurant,
really need a lot of shit anyway. I really just want to have a house and some time, enough money that I can afford time to go travel and see places and things.
I mean,
and eat food
that's a fallacy. I'm sorry to say.
People. I want to go to the mountains. I want to fucking go climb.
Should have worked harder. Should have gone to college. I don't know.
You know, I want to do all kinds of cool shit. But no, I'm stuck.
Oh, you're stuck. You're all stuck.
Being stuck sucks, but doing something about it will have an effect. So,
like working, getting a job, I don't know.
We are all stuck, but together, if we make movement, we're gonna make change. Drew, it's as simple as if there's nothing wrong, release the blue sheets.
Oh my God.
Prove us wrong. I don't understand. If they wanted to shut us up, they would have. They would have released the blue sheets, been like, yeah, you're all retarded. But they didn't because there's a problem.
Yeah, no, that's not how it works.
So we're going to end.
That is not how it works.
That's a little bit about me. I mean,
wow, he sounds like a cool guy. I would want to be his friend.
Darrell's story tore me apart earlier. I had no idea.
See, stories that tear people apart. I don't want to hear that.
You guys so much.
I love you guys so much.
I can't even say it enough.
This is pathetic.
I'm literally like
don't even.
I'm just blown away at the amount of
dude. Seriously, Model 3 dude. Me too.
You want to tell him your real name?
I hinted to it earlier. If people were paying attention.
No, you didn't hint to it. You let it slip before.
No, but in this space.
Oh, he did? I didn't hear it.
Yeah.
It was a similar slip. Well, it was, I think, on purpose, but it was in a similar manner.
Come on, let him know.
So Gandalf and Elf actually knew my name well before you did. They were like, no fucking way. Yep, my name's Andrew, guys. No! No! Yes, sir.
Oh.
Huh?
Man. There was a time when I was kind of on the ledge, and I was really bent out of shape because of something that I was dealing with, and I was really upset, and I felt like nobody, I felt I was in a really bad place, and Marduk is trying to calm me down, and he's like, dude, from one Andrew to another, I know how you feel. And I was like, wait a minute, what? And instantly, I went from like just being really bent out of shape to almost being insulted that this bastard made me wait fucking 3.5 months before he told me his real name when we share the same name.
Wow. Hey, Marduk,
awesome.
You just made my April, man.
Yeah. His name is Andrew, ladies and gentlemen, but he will always be Marduk. And yeah, man, I don't believe in coincidences.
Yeah, wow.
I believe
my mind is fucking blown. Holy shit.
Right there is one of them.
You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me.
No coincidences.
Oh my God.
And
knows when he slipped.
No coincidences.
I know that one.
I've been waiting for somebody to say that for a while.
I can say this, and no one can accuse me of being a narcissist or saying it to myself when I say, I fucking love you, Andrew.
I love you too, Andrew. I'm not a narcissist, by the way. Although my ego has had problems getting in front of me, and I think that has something to do with my my Leo side.
Nah, you just
I'm a fucking arrogant pride son of a gun at times, dude. I'm like, you think your food looks good? Check this shit. You think you're present? Oh, does it taste good? But do you present it? Well, I mean, dude, man, people eat with their eyes first, bro. Stop slapping on the plate.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah. No, that's it. There we go. Spilled the beans. Okay, dude, honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. Gandalf is in here. Where's Gandalf? He's not in here. I don't see him.
He's here.
Look.
He wasn't here earlier.
He's here.
Dude. When everybody thought you were a hedge fund, I was really nervous. I thought you knew who I was already.
Okay.
Do you ever think back to when you recited that list to me? Is your name Tyler?
We don't talk about that list. But yeah.
I was terrified, dude. I've been through so much fucking anxiety since this past 4 months. Constantly just like on edge.
You know what was real? I'm gonna
welcome to adulthood. That's all I gotta say.
Do you know how much that hurt me? Like when everybody thought I was a hedge fund.
Okay.
Like if I'm a hedge fund, then I must be the absolute shittiest hedge fund, self-sabotaging dumb fuck of all time.
That's a good place to end right there.
Like I came in here with very good intentions, and it was
that went to shit,
really
didn't it?
hard. Like it hurt.
You came in hot and like knowledgeable, and like you were just like so vocal right off the bat. I remember kicking you out of a space because I was like, yeah, I don't know about this guy. He's like really like high energy. Who is this dude in this suit? This like wedding picture? I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know, but people started like whispering, and I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake!
So
like, don't put me through this, people.
Here's what I will say.
All right.
It was
I keep
mentioned,
saying that. All right.
Or in the last case.
This is.
I will say.
I'm going.
I know I came in hot.
We know he came in hot, right? Now, in order to properly end this video, we need to play out. Here we go. See you guys next time.
Not everyone is fortunate enough to know my techniques of how to make a lot of money.
The Tom Fu method differs from others in that his system teaches you how to make money in real estate immediately and enjoy life right away.
I know some of you are thinking, my seminar is the same like everybody else's seminar. My seminar is not the same like everybody else. My course is copyrighted. It means no one else
copyrighted.
to fix my unique. Plus, my system can show you how to put money in your pocket in real estate right away.
Tom Fu says a key to making quick money in real estate is to know how to deal in distressed properties. He says you can locate money-making properties every day.
This is another house I just bought. is worth $500,000. Using my own technique, I pay only $285,000. I make $215,000 in this house. What can you do with $215,000? You can take 10 trips around the world, send 4 or 5 of your kids to go to college, or you can even buy a Rolls Royce. Come to my seminar. I show you how to make all kind of money. Here's a secret for you to make millions. Very simple. Learn how to do your first real estate transaction. Make a small profit, and after that, don't quit. Keep repeating the same successful process many times over. You'll become very wealthy.
Same for trading.
How easy it is you can make a lot of money. Take a look at this house, my friend. It's worth $500,000. I pick it up for $285,000, making $215,000 profit. If you can do about 10 deals like this, the way I'm about to show you, you can retire multi-millionaire. People say that I'm a genius,
underwater as far as like literally underwater, or underwater as in
many of my seminars
foreclosed,
apply my system and also make a lot of
or
money.
both.
Let me take you to an actual real estate closing where you will see one of my students apply my technique, about to walk away with a nice check profit.
About to whack away.
I invite you to come to my seminar, learn how to make a lot of money. Once you have a taste of a good life, you will never go back. I didn't have all this at first. I started with nothing, less than nothing. In just a few years, I made a fortune. I have everything I ever wanted. You can do the same thing too. If you know my technique to make a fortune, you don't need a credit, you don't need money, you don't even need a college degree to get started. If you have a desire, get the guts, come to my seminar. Let me show you how.
I know lots of you out there are skeptical. In my hand, framed, is a check for $203,029.32. I net in one transaction, one deal. This is a net check.
I know after watching me and my student making a lot of money, you got excited and you want to go to my seminar to learn how to make millions yourself. And a lot of your friends will tell you, don't come to the seminar, it's a get-rich-quick plan. But tell them, it is a get-rich-quick plan, because life is too short to get rich slow. If someone trying to discourage you, my friend, take a look at them from...
That's the apes mentality.
Stay away from them. You want
Life
to learn
is too
from
short
success,
to get rich
not
slow.
You see these checks in my hands? You know I did it. The fact is, lots of people are making money all over the country, starting with nothing. If you don't know how, the seminar will show you exactly how.
I never forget what my grandfather told me. There are two kinds of people in life, the doer and the loser. Which one are you? Are you sick and tired of where you are, working hard for years for nothing? Are you excited about watching my student making a fortune on TV? You know, many of these people started out with little or no cash and no credit, no experience. Do you have a guts to step out of where you are to achieve your financial freedom? Then come to my 3 hours Success and Real Estate Investing Seminar. The cover charge for this seminar is not $1,000. It's not even $500. It's not even $100. The cover charge, my friend, is free. Free. And if you're not willing to spend 3 free hours to learn from a self-made millionaire to maximize your opportunity, you deserve to be broke.
You deserve to be broke. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Now. Wow. This is some... I mean, I'm just...
Another blunt, man. This is good time.
I am so... I don't even know. I'm just...
You full of shit.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
And you need to quit.
Remember, they can't cover at $3 or $4 or $5 until we sell our shares. See ya.